Hey everybody! Finally got it managed to get it working, and now we are working, and then we should be live. And like I was saying to you in the previous other streams last week, guys, that I was going to take my sketch that I did, which I'll show you in a moment. The sketch that I did of Spider-Man PS4. Then I inked that picture out, and now I'm finally able to finally bring it to you or to the critter, which I will have to use the camera for, guys, because the OBS wasn't working. So we'll had a few technical problems this morning trying to get this work, because I should have started an hour ago, which I do again. I do apologize that wasn't able to do that. But hopefully everything should be hunky-dory, okie dokie, and pickety-porky right now. But I'll just quickly show you what I had been working on previously. That was the first critter file that we did. I did pencil, and then ink that one first. Then I've done that one. So go and check that one out, guys. That is Blue Angel. And then there's what we've all been tuning in for is the Spider-Man PS4. This was inked. But first I did a sketch video, which is live event 1. Live event 2 is for the inking and the colouring in with the Copic markers. I'm not quite completely happy with the Copic markers, but they are quite cheap. Check out the video for the information on which Copic markers I use. They're brush pens, and if you want to see them, I will show you in the stream. Just ask me in the comment section today. And again, we're live, so you guys can ask me any questions, or you can chat to me live. I can see some of the comments. What I'll do is I will get my tablet out so I can see all the comments, because I've got to use my computer screen to do that, to do the actual stream today. I will be using my camera here, so if the sound's a little bit buggy, I do apologize. But we will be listening to some more Comic Storian, listening to Spider-Man Noir today, and we will be listening to some other Spidey stories while I draw and colour in on the critter file. And again, guys, if you don't know what Critter is, it is a free app that everybody can use, that anybody can download to your PC. I think you may be able to get onto a tablet as well. You can use your digital tablets as well. I don't have one of those, unfortunately. I do have OBS, but I did try to use OBS streaming system to record and put my picture on, but the picture wasn't showing up on the Critter, so I got to figure out what I have to do there. But without really trying, without pressuring my computer too hard, because it's not the greatest, which you probably noticed with all the technical problems that I've been having, it is, it's working as best as I can. I will flip this camera around and show you guys what I've been working up to in a very short moment of time. And again, guys, if you want to chat to me at all during this live stream, just leave your live comments on the live chat bar beside. Or if you're new to the channel, don't forget you can hit that subscribe button and check out the other playlists. What else that I've been doing during my art career so far on YouTube. I'd love to know what you think, what your thoughts are. So don't forget to leave a comment down below on all those videos. But it is the creation station that all the pictures that I do digitally and colour in by hand and obviously draw. I've got a lot of drawings there, guys. The old camera I was using wasn't the greatest and sound wasn't greatest. So what you might have to do is turn the volume down just a smidge. But on this one, you'll have to turn the volume up a smidge more, just so you can hear what I'm actually listening to. If you want to listen to the Comic Storian, that is. Again, go and check them out for all kinds of comics, whether it's Deadpool, DC, or loads of Spider-Man, which is what I'll be listening to today. And I'll be hopefully letting them know what I'll be listening to. And hopefully the beard isn't going to get itchy. But yeah, guys, tell me what you think today. And hopefully you will enjoy. And again, I'm really sorry for all the problems that we've been having this morning. Thanks to those guys over on Instagram that were watching that little stream. And thank you very much for being patient. Because I know some of you guys are in different time zones, which is why I was going to do it about 11 o'clock. It is now 12 o'clock or just after really. Yeah, guys, if you want to leave a comment section, you want to hear any particular playlist from Comic Storian, because if you're a fan, I'd love to know what your thoughts are of them as well. And yeah, if you want any links, let me know on this live stream, and I'll try and leave them in the description, or I'll leave them down below on the comment section. But without further ado, let's not leave you waiting any longer and get you over to the critter. So let's flip you around, get you in focus. Like I said, guys, I am using my live cam. Might have to lower this a little bit, actually, thinking about it. I will flip it over in a moment or two. But if the sound is a little bit buggy, guys, it is coming through the camera. I should be using this mic here, but again, I have problems with that mic. I don't actually know if that mic's working. It works perfectly for my games and when I do live streams on other systems, but I'm using my PC today. And the sound should be coming through my camera, which obviously I can't show you. Because, and the reason being, I'm going to make this a little bit shorter, guys. Give me a second. I'm using my stand here, which made out of Lego. So go check that again. Check that video out, guys. It's detachable. You see, I can move it and change it to whatever size I need, like so. And guys, if you're here for the giveaway for the Spider-Man toys and figurines, let me know, guys, and I'll let you know what is being given away today. Or if you're catching back on the live, then definitely, guys, tell me what you would like to win, because it's on the unboxing video, which is everything is up for grabs. And yeah, guys, let's get started and get going. There we go. Right, I'm going to make sure everything's good and hunky-dory in the background here with my tablet, so I can see all your comments. If you do comment, guys, and I don't see it straight away, I do apologize, but it is coming through my tablet, which was the problem in the first place. So bear with me, guys. That is the file I'll be using. I'm just going to make sure that you guys can see it okay. I can see it fine, but I'll make sure you guys can too. And in October, I will be trying to do that Inktober challenge. I haven't looked at any of the rules yet, but I will do, and I'll be posting some more things about that on Instagram, guys. So don't forget to go over there. Again, my name is Blut084, BLUT084 Art and Games. Here live every day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, but every day and night over on Instagram, guys. The sound seems to be okay to me. How about you? Yep, everything seems to be okay. Tappings in me in the background, guys. I will. I'm going to put some comic story in a minute, guys. I've got it all set up on my TV. Again, if it sounds a bit squeaky or if it's too low, you may need to turn it up a smidge. That's really off-putting. Can hear my own voice, but I know it's so good now. Okay, so I think everything's good. There's just like a 2-second delay of me speaking to you hearing me, but I don't think that's going to really cause any issue. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to have to grab my glasses I might move this a bit closer so I can see it that bit better, because you're in a tricky position. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll do that quickly. Get my screen a little bit closer to myself. That seems just as good. And you can still hear me good. And the picture looks okay. So right, let's turn myself down so I can't hear myself all the time. There we go. Right, again, I do apologise for all the technical issues I had this morning, but everybody that saw me on Instagram knows what I was going through. I was trying to do that live and trying to hold that camera while I was showing you guys what I was getting up to. But let's, without further ado, get some comic story going, and so you're not sitting there in complete silence while I do this, as I won't talk all the way through this stream, guys. As obviously I just want to check something else, guys. Yeah, bear with me. I'm just checking something else. This is how you can come to my channel as well, guys. Just go to YouTube. I'll put YouTube in the and then put my name in the thingy there. Just checking everything's good on my end. I should have done this the other way around, but hey, whatever. That's my channel, guys. If you guys want to check it out anytime, you can check it anytime, any day, any night. Oh, I've already done that. Okay. Just making sure everything's good. Everything seems okay to me. Does it seem okay to you? I want to check everything before I really start anything, guys. There we go. Right, let's get rid of that. Just checking everything's good, guys. So let me know if you can see okay. But there we go. That's what we're going to be working on. I'm going to put some comic story on now. I won't talk all the way through it, guys, because obviously I've got to shout, and I'll just end up screwing my voice up like I did in the last stream. But that's why I'll be listening to Comic Story, and let's listen to Spider-Man Noir. If there's anything you guys want to listen to, let me know. And as always, there is a live chat button if you want to talk to me. Let me know if you can see this okay, but I'm pretty sure you can. But I want to listen to this. It's Spider-Man Noir from the new Spider-Man PS4 game. And it's obviously a comic, and this is the Origins, I believe, that I'm going to be listening to. The Origins of Spider-Man Noir, if you guys wanted to know what. I'm not sure if this is the first one of them.
A lot of people in his life, basically, what's going to happen? The God was a big gangster, and now he's got powers, and they're going to fight. Here's the conclusion to Spider-Man Noir.
I don't want.
Welcome back to Spider-Man Noir.
No. We want the first one then.
Welcome to the complete story series, where I get great paperbacks.
Okay, this is Comic Story that you listen to now, guys.
In a dramatic fashion, like a motion movie. Guys, the Spider-Man game is out to celebrate working with Spider-Man content right here on Comic Story the entire weekend.
You think you could draw Spider-Man with a ripped up suit? I could. Maybe I'll do that in the next stream there, buddies. But today, I might be able to do it. Like I said, this is what I'm working on today. I'm gonna have to trace this because I can't copy again. So I'm gonna get my digital tool here. and do a bit of tracing quickly. Obviously, see how thick this line is. That's a white line. Okay. We don't want white line. We want a dark line. I'm going to be. You make on this. You make layers. There you go. Hopefully, it's not too buggy in the background.
The man responsible, the Spider-Man, dressed in all black, sits there with his gun, looking at the officers. One of the officers shouts.
Yeah, I'm using use these digital. I'm gonna have to turn this down so I don't shout over it. Yeah, digital tools down here. But as for the rip suit, I might be able to do this here using this. But what I was really trying to do today is just sort of colour this in. Maybe do a bit more on this one. Saying that, thinking about it, I might be able to turn this one into a rip suit. Who's got half and half, if you like. Yeah, I could do that. And then I'll do another little spider here. This was just sketched. So this was just sketched out. And I didn't ink this one at all. Just wanted a little spidey on the side. And this is the one I'll be working on today. I am in the background. I am behind the camera. Okay. Well, what you got to do is you've got to make a few layers, which is what I'm going to do now. So each layer, I'll have like the color layer. I'll have the like just the header layer, just the arms and the body layer, just the leg layer, and then we'll go again make another layer on top of that for the suit and extra details and stuff like that. But all these little tools down here are what I'll be using. You can there's all sorts of different tools, like the effects tool, which I'll be using at the end once I'm kind of happy with what I've done. Inking tools, painting tools, all sorts of different things. Well, I'm trying to be using all different kinds of tools today, but I'm not. I'm still new, guys, so bear with me if I don't know what everything does. I will test a few things as well, just to see what they all do. But we're doing digital art, so I'll use the digital tool. I'm going to readjust my seating. But I'll turn this up again, guys, so you can hear it fine. I can hear it fine. If you can't hear it, guys, turn it up a little bit more, because obviously I don't want to have it up too loud. But how is that coming through, bodies? Is that coming through clear for you? Is the picture okay for you? And the sound on the playlist I'm listening to?
Dan tells Urge, you better be careful. You're pushing your luck. As the three leave, Urge helps Peter up, asking if he's okay, and Peter mumbles, telling him, yeah, fine. And May tells Urge, thanks for helping. Urge tells them both that they're very welcome. His car is just down the way. Please allow him to give them a ride home. A short while later, over at the Bowery Welfare Center.
No, I might move this ever so slightly closer, because it's just awkward for me to do it.
It's what the sign says. Urge laughs, telling him, seems like a little too much socialism for something.
It's too much setting up.
We had to put those things up after my uncle was killed by Goblin's monster. May tells him that they don't know if it was.
There we go. That's a bit closer to me. I can see it that bit better. Because I use my glasses and I can't see bugger all.
It's the system that we're attacking. The corrupted base. The businesses. The politicians. Urge listens to Peter go on and thinks to himself that he should just get in the car. He should drive away. But there's something about this kid's sheer stuff.
That's white again.
Maybe he wanted to test him, to show him the brutal reality of the world, to watch that light in his eyes die out. After another short drive, Urge takes Peter down an alleyway, stating that he really hopes that he's not a prohibitionist.
You can change
about to enter the hottest speakeasy in
the
town.
size of the pen as well, as you can see here.
The doors swing
It's a
open
bit too thin.
inside an underground bar. Black Cat's owner Felicia Hardy
There we
asks
go.
Urge
If you change the everything here to whatever like you would like,
got into an argument with Ox. Peter, meet the owner of this fine
get rid of them.
as well as the only woman that I've ever asked to marry, which God knows why she turned me down. Alicia calls out to one of the waitresses stating to clear out Urge's
This will
table
take
and
me
get
a moment or two
first
to
class.
obviously
Make it a whiskey double from the rest.
trace this out, and I'll
Peter says that he'll take a
go
whiskey.
back a few times.
Alicia stares, asking, "Are you old enough to be drinking?" Peter tells her, "I'll show you my birth certificate when you show me your liquor license." Felicia smiles, telling him that the kid's got a mouth on him. And Urge tells her he gets it from his own. Once the two sit, Peter asks, "Why did the Goblin thugs back off when you showed up?"
Just going to
They said
trace
you were
all
off
the way around
Urge
it.
says, "How were the press? I'm guessing." That's why I brought you here. By the way you and your aunt are talking, but Peter cuts him off, telling him, we should keep our mouths shut. Aunt May believes
Very
it,
difficult.
and I believe it. Urge stops him. That's all good and all. Believe that if we all became good little socialists and worked toward the greater good, then it'll be all sunshine and roses. That's a hell of a dream, but take a good look. This is reality, kid. The guy wrestling with the brunette.
I really wish I had a tablet to do this with. You can get specific tablets and stylus pens, which I still need to invest in.
That's Emilio Alcuno. Runs half the brothels.
My hand isn't so steady because I'm using a mouse, which is a pain in the ass.
And your Uncle Ben helped organize demonstrations that closed 3 of Crane's sweatshops last year. But the one in the center of it all, that's Norman Osborn, the Goblin. You want to know why the Goblin is after you? The truth is, the Goblin doesn't give a damn about you or anyone else. He's freelance and he works for whoever is the highest bidder. They use him because it wouldn't look good to have the police suppressing freedom of speech. Peter then asks, so you're saying that the mayor used the Goblin to kill Uncle Ben? And Urge tells him, it's probably Alcuno who made the deal. And Crane most likely put up the fee. Rian probably made sure the cops were looking the other way, and the mayor just sits back taking a percentage. It's a tangled web that they weave. Peter then asks, why do they call him the Goblin? And Urge tells him, no one really knows. Likely because his enforcers that he chose came from every broken circus freak show that he could find. The classic man with the monkey, that's Craven. He was an animal trainer. The bald one's Vulture. He's a geek. The Goblin about him caged up, biting the heads off living chickens. Just then, Fancy Dan walks into Urge's table, telling them, look what the cat drags in. Behind him, Norman walks up, telling him, good evening, Urge. And Parker is it? Your uncle was Ben Parker, the agitator? Please accept my deepest consolidations for the unfortunate death. Ben was torn apart by, what was it? A pack of dogs? Peter grits his teeth, stating, my uncle was murdered by a low-life scum, and you are not fit to even say his name. Peter then takes his glasses, throws it at Norman, but the Vulture opens his mouth and hits. So Norman holds it back, telling him, not here. Norman wipes his face off, telling Urge,
As you see why I got you guys listening to a playlist, because this is going to take me a while.
Oh yes, he's my friend. Come on, Peter. We've overstayed our welcome here. A few moments later, the bouncer
Re-inking it, but doing it digitally.
You know the rules. Don't bring your squabbles into the black cat. The kid can come back when he's grown up. As the door slams shut, Urge says, what you just did there was the stupidest single thing that I have ever witnessed. Do you realize what you... But Peter stops him and asks, what? And Urge stops. He fights back the urge to put Peter down himself. But he says, it's nothing, I'll take you home now. Peter tells him, I got the message. You wanted me to see what was going on in here, and it can't be fought against. But I will never close my eyes and run away. Urge then asks, you want to do
I'll show you
something
the difference in the layers in a moment. Once I've done this.
Sit down. Urge has told me that you're a good kid. Since you're an orphan. Lost your uncle, too. Then Parker was a fine man. A little red around the gills for my liking, but still. So you want to study what? Science? But you can't afford college? Well, you can make do with a job here in the meantime. Peter tries to say no, but Jonah asks him, did you know that there's a married couple living under the bridge in Central Park because they have nowhere else to go? There's children starving in the middle of the richest nation that has ever existed. There's 1 million sob stories out there, and none of them are special until we make it special.
And as for that request for the Spidey that you can, you want me to do, yeah, I can definitely do a ripped up Spidey. I've already done one a couple of years ago, actually. I'll show you that one on an Instagram post, so don't forget you can check that one out sooner or later, guys. I might do what one of my favourite digital artists have done, where they've taken something they've done before when they were younger, and then took it another look at it, and redrew it. My skills are a little bit better now. It's okay, but since like hitting my head a couple of years ago,
but everyone is too scared to do anything. No one sees or hears anything.
Being able to focus on certain things does do my head in.
And Goblin will be finished. Peter went on. That night that my uncle died, it was me who found him. There were roadblocks. He was tied up so they couldn't fight back, and after they beat him, they set the wild dogs out and torn him apart. Urge listens, but this is old news to him. The only thing that he didn't know was that Peter was the one who found the mutilated body. Later that night, Ben heads home, still thinking to himself that he had it bad, but Peter, he's known loss his entire life. The truth is, Peter has every reason to be bitter at the world.
Nah, just trace it, I think.
To his desk, taking out a small bag. He begins to get a spoon. He then takes out a needle, sucks up the liquid, and injects it into his arm. He leans back as the heroin goes through him, telling himself, Peter is wrong about one thing. It wasn't the dogs that tore Uncle Ben apart. It It was that freak vulture. After being treated like an animal for so long, something in Adrian Toombs just snapped. He developed a taste for human meat. And how would he know Ben Parker's body was cannibalized? Because God help him, he was there. And he watched it all. As the weeks passed by while taking pictures of a burning building, Urge began to realize something. Peter's passion for justice just started to get to him. He began to feel anger when they would report on things that they knew were not an accident. This building did just burst into flames, but this was the owner cashing in on insurance money. While Urge begins to develop photos, Peter watches Urge telling him that he's not even shocked that this is happening anymore. Urge sighs, telling him that he's too tired. You can't spend your life being disgusted and outraged. It would just make you go crazy. Whether or not today's fire was an accident or not, there's nothing that they can prove. Peter takes a closer look at one of the photos, telling him that the proof is right here. Fancy Dan is in one of the photos that he took. We can just take this to the cops and get an investigation going. Urge tells him that there's no point. Everyone in the city gets a cut. Cops, insurance investigators, everyone. And it doesn't stop there. It goes all the way to the top. There's no one who could even talk that would have any power to do anything. Peter then says that
I will speed up eventually. It's just been a while since I've used the mouse to do it this way.
No great cause. It was a war or market.
Trying to get a nice outline because then I can just go between the layers and sort of have one layer as just like the outline, and then the rest on the inside. It will make it so much easier because I can click one layer and have it.
Yeah, right. The public must have its daily dose of misery, huh? As he leaves, Urge looks
so I can have it. I'll show you later, guys.
Peter runs in, stating that they made the late edition. Isn't that great? Ben sits in his chair, not responding, and as Peter looks down, he sees the heroin needle. Just then Ben's phone.
Heroin.
Peter picks it up.
Never take drugs, guys. It's not worth your life.
Says, that you, Spider? It's the fine. I got a hot one for you. The action's going off at 1 o'clock in the a.m. at Rui's Import Warehouse at Pier 57. Goblin's goons are picking up a shipment of antiques that went awry. It's going to be the usual terms. 40 clams if you use it or not, gotta blow. Peter hangs up the phone, stating, Spider, what was Urge up to? At 1 o'clock at the pier, Montana.
Because in Spider-Man Noir is a little bit more darker.
Why the hell did Goblin want this
It's set in the 1930s, I believe. Which I was wrong when I said before.
Said anyone who touches it dies from a curse. Craven then says, "Just enough talking. Get the statues loaded." Fancy Dan, Ox, and Montana begin to lift the crate up. And as Fancy takes a step back, he slips, dropping the crate. The Spider God statue inside cracks, and from inside, a swarm of spiders swarm out covering him. He screams, "Get him off! Get him off the bite you made!" And while this happens, Peter is watching from the rafters. Craven grabs a hose to wash Dan off, but when Montana takes a closer look, he says that he's dead. Those spiders killed Dan! While this is all happening, Peter notices one of the spiders crawl up and bit him on
There you go, guys. You see what I mean? If you do a layer
Peter struggles to keep his scream quiet, but then
on top of the other layer, then when I go to sort of do extra little bits, I won't go over the lines.
Why did you tremble, sir? Our bites only bring death to those of evil intent. For you, it will be a greater torment.
I've gone where I am now.
The curse of power. Peter blacks out after hearing those words, and a short while later he finds himself opening his eyes, looking up, finding himself upside down. He says, "Oh God." And when he moves, he feels himself covered in the spider's web. He pulls the webbing off and he climbs up, and then he senses something. A few moments later, he jumps off the ledge and easily moves from beam to beam until he lands on the floor. He looks back up at the height that he just came from, and then at his hand, stating, "Well, I'll be damned." The next morning, Urge grabs his things and heads over to Osborne Enterprises. It wasn't hard to find because the piece of garbage Goblin thinks he's untouchable. Urge walks up to the doors, and one of the guards tells Urge that he will be seen in 5 minutes. Next time, make a goddamn appointment. Urge waits the time, and as he walks into Norman's office, he looks at all of the taxidermied animals.
There you go, guys. There's the difference in layers.
And not show up looking like
That's just the outside and the outer cutting layer. I'll make another layer up here. And there's a bit missing, wasn't there? Where was that? There.
Urge holds up the photo of Fancy Dan, telling him, "Just in case you didn't see, there's a clear shot of Fancy Dan at the scene." Norman laughs, telling him, "Fancy Dan no longer works for me, just so you know, and you're going to need better plans if you want to blackmail me." Urge then says, "I got plenty to take you down to your entire freak show." Norman looks at the photo again, telling him,
We'll take little breaks every now and then, but not too many, because obviously I'm already an hour late, which is a pain in the ass.
But you should take care not to push too far. Montana hands Urge a wad of cash, stating, "It's 50 skins to keep you snowed up for Christmas." I scream. Just then there's a loud crash, and a man in black jumps through Norman's window, kicking Craven to the ground. The man in black moves with such agility, taking everyone before stopping in front of Norman's desk. The man then tells Norman, I'm here to give you a message. It all stops here. The extortion, the drugs, the prostitution, the protection.
I'm still learning digital art. Obviously here that you've seen I can draw with pencil and things like that. So it doesn't look great. Then I do apologise.
Bring me up, arrest me. The only way to stop me would be to kill me. Can you do that? The man tries to say something, but his eyes wander, and he notices Urge's photo, and then he stares directly at Urge. Urge runs out of the building and into the street, but before he can get far,
there we go. There's the outline done.
How could you?
And hopefully, if I do this completely right, if I was to say, I don't know, get this here and draw on this layer. I don't know.
I never want to see a lion face again. As Peter runs down the alley, Norman
let's draw on
However, Peter effortlessly dodges the
this layer. It shouldn't necessarily black out that.
Norman looks at her, telling him, "You still here? Use those connections here to find out who that lunatic in the mask is and earn yourself a nice gold."
Nope.
Urge gets up, grabbing the
Maybe if I was to do, oh, it's going to be a layer behind it. So if you can always move your layers around.
He picks up his hat and begins to walk off.
It's still not working properly.
Yeah, sounds like a man. A man with nothing to lose is very, very dangerous. Montana then asks if he should pop it. Norman says, not yet. We need to know where he's keeping those files. Urge may think that he is the upper hand, but the goblin always gets 2 steps ahead. Later that night, Urge pours himself a glass, telling Betty over the phone.
As you can see there, though.
A few seconds later, Jonah picks up, asking, what is it? What do you want? Urge says that he's got a big one, Jonah. This is a Pulitzer material.
That's not doing what I think it would do. That's a pain in the bum.
Time for games. What's the story? So Urge puts his glass down, stating that the goblin. I can get you the goblin.
Yeah, like I said, it's all to do with different layers.
Dead serious. I have it all. Names, dates, photographs.
I know if I move these around, I can get this so this isn't covering this at all, but it will be like covering behind here. Get rid of that.
If you really have what you say, you cannot be on the street with that. Just stay there. I'll be right over. Urge looks up at his defeated self in the mirror, stating, yeah.
The aim is to get that behind.
He hangs up and he holds his glass down himself.
Why this is not working.
He's taking back his life. After a while, there's a knock at Urge's door, and as Urge opens it, he sees
I'm just going to make a quick someone over here so I can figure out which layers I can use.
He takes out his old uniform, and he gets to stitch together a mask. Thinking about what his uncle used to say, even though he was awarded medals, he never felt like a hero. He hid his uniform because he was ashamed of it, because the war that he fought was not just. Peter grabs one last thing from the trunk, Uncle Ben's old gun, and over to Urge's apartment. Jonah picks up the phone, stating it's done. The spider is dead. But at that exact moment, Peter is standing on the rooftop.
That's not even showing up.
This is the goblin.
That should mean I would have to move it here. Yeah, that's over the top, over the top, over the top. That shouldn't be doing that.
We'll be getting to the conclusion of this story very, very soon. But to just elaborate on what I opened this video with, Spider-Man or Spider-Man, leave weekend. You see, what we're going to do is, if you engage in this video and talk in the comments down below,
that's comic story you can see in the down below. If you guys want to chat to me, I'll turn him down. If you want to go check him out, he's a comic historian. He's doing his own ads. He's not to do with me. Why isn't that showing up? Oh, I know why that's not showing up, you plank. Right, give me a minute. I've got to erase now. Erase around all of this. What's this? Right, so that should be there. Get rid of that one. There we go, guys. I get rid of that. I can then, like I said, this is all new to me. It's still fairly new to me. I will, by the end of the stream, I've learned that a little bit more. And hopefully you would have learned that a little bit more as well. But I can't, some of these certain things don't, still a bit elude me a little bit. think it's the right one.
Origin of Spider-Man No Wall, a book that a lot of people requested and I haven't done for a very long time. And I do my own, really cool 1930s old-timey accent for it. But to further celebrate this whole thing, what we're doing, guys, is celebrating over on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/monster. You come on over and join us during literally right now, listen to videos live. You'll find the same Spider-Man game, like every hour, right into the Spider-Man merchandise, comic books, the toys, the video games. You can also engage the comments down below, which is on the section of the YouTube as well. Watch our video earlier in the week for more information on that. But you're just watching Spider-Man War.
We're going to now get rid of all of the previous picture. If I was to, so then I can color on, because obviously this was taking a picture of the picture I drew.
One of the bullets grazes the side of Spider-Man's arm, but ultimately he manages to get away. 3 weeks prior, this was no Spider. No one even had an idea about what was to come over the city. Down below,
I'm going to quickly show you what I mean. See what I mean, guys? It won't go over to that layer there. So this will be like the base layer.
Urge asks one of the squatters if he can take a picture. And the man asks, what have you done? Urge tells him, Bugle. The man opens his coat showing newspaper strapped to him. First page stating that the Bugle's got the good paper. Front pages on his chest, 40 pages in his shoes. He saves the financial section to wipe his t-shirt. As the man last Urge notices a woman standing on a soapbox. When a group of people around, he asks what's going on over there. The woman says that's May Clark, rousing the comrades again, letting the ruling classes tremble. The proletariat have got to leave but the change. Urge walks over thinking that he's heard of her, but this is the first time that he's seen her in person. May tells the people how the government promised their jobs would secure. But more than 13 million of them are out of work. The only thing the Republicans and the Democrats are discussing is the most efficient way to turn their sweat and blood into profit. As day goes on, a well-dressed man from the crowd is saying, "Get off your soapbox, Grandma." That man fancy Dan. And 2 with them are the enforcers. The mobster Goblin Muscle. Dan tells May that if she doesn't like things here in America, she should get on a boat, go join her comrades in Russia. May says the last time this cheese ship. The Constitution of this country protected her right to freedom of speech. The man then tells the larger man with an ox to go ahead and help you with the family. However, May's nephew Peter jumps in front of him shouting, "If you lay a finger on my ox," before Peter could get another word out, Ox gut punches Peter, telling him, "Way past your bedtime, kid." May shouts to let him go, but the other enforcer, Montana, cracks his whip, wrapping May up. Just then, Urge, his voice tells him to free them, say cheese, and there's a flash of light.
Just realised what I've done.
Would you look at that? That Urge broken his nose in the muck as usual. Ox grabs Urge by the jacket.
Should have made a copy of that one. Give me a second, guys.
Dan stops him going, "Urge is off with you know that." After Ox lets him go, Dan tells Urge, "You better be careful."
It's the beauty of digital art. You can bring it all back.
Urge helps Peter up, asking if he's okay, and Peter mumbles, telling him, "Yeah, fine." And May tells Urge, "Thanks for helping." Urge tells them both that they're very welcome. His car is just down the way. Please allow him to give them a ride home. A short while later, over at the Bowery Welfare Center, Urge asks if this is the hotbed of the revolution. And May says that it's what the sign says at the Welfare Center. They give the homeless a hot meal, a place to come out of the cold. Urge laughs, telling them, "Seems like a little too much socialism or something." Peter points to the fence with some of the...
What I'm going to do, guys, is going to make another layer. And I'm going to
May tells them that they don't know if it was Goblin's venom.
paste
Peter says, "I know it's one
that onto there.
Damn it! Why do these nations gotta come after us? It's the system that we're attacking. The corrupted banks, the businesses, the politicians." Urge listens to Peter go on and thinks to himself that he should just get in the car, he should drive away. But there's something about this kid's sheer stubborn, righteous anger. Maybe he wanted to test him, to show him the brutal reality of the world, to watch that light in his eyes die out. After another short trial, Urge takes Peter down an alleyway, stating that he really hopes he's not a prohibitionist, because he's about to enter the hottest speakeasy in town to welcome to the Black Cat. The doors swing open, and inside is an underground bar. Black Cat's owner, Felicia Hardy, asks Urge if he babysits.
Oh, digital art. No.
Don't mind the he got into an argument with Ox. Peter, he's the owner of this fine establishment, as well as the only woman that I've ever asked to marry, which God knows why. She turned me down. Alicia calls out to one of the waitresses stating to clear out Urge's table and get him a ticket. Urge laughs, telling them to make it a whiskey.
Give me a second, guys. What I might be able to do this
Alicia stares, asking,
is go here.
Peter tells her, I'll show you my birth certificate when you show me your liquor license. Alicia smiles, telling him that the kid's got a mouth. Urge tells her, he gets it from his own. Once the two sick, Peter asks, why did the goblin studs back off when you showed up? They said that you were off limits. Urge says, I would have pressed, I'm guessing. That's why I brought you here. By the way you and your aunt are talking, but Peter cuts him off, telling him, we should keep our mouths shut. Aunt May believes in something, and I believe in it. Urge stops him. That's all good enough. Believe that if we all became good little socialists and worked towards a greater good, then it'll be all sunshine and roses. That's a hell of a dream, but
Sunshine, roses.
is reality. The guy wrestling with the brunette, that's Jimmy Strider, mayor of New York. And that dame is now his wife. To his left is the chief detective, Rian, from the Vice Squad. The creepy snoozing, that's Emilio Alcuno, runs half the brothels in New York. Then there's Algorithus Gray in the industrials, and your Uncle Ben helped organize demonstrations that close to
Oh, where's it gone?
One in the center of it all, that's Northern Osborne. So, God, you want to know what a goblin is after you?
Okay, I don't want to open that again because I can't copy the bloody file.
They use him because it wouldn't look good to have the police suppressing freedom of speech. Peter then asks, but you're saying that the mayor used the goblin to kill Uncle Ben?
Never mind.
Eric tells him, probably Alcuda who made a deal. And Green most likely put up the fee. Rian probably makes sure the cops believe that
Right.
the mayor just sits back taking a percentage. It's a tangled web that they use. Peter then asks, why do they call him the
What we have to do is go around it.
No one really knows. Likely because his
And again, I'm not going to need to go around it. So I can't delete that. If I was to go boop, yeah, like that. Did nothing. If I was to go here and take that off, I won't be able to see it here or any of the others. So I don't want to do that. I have to go over it with the fine line pen I had a moment ago. Well, this is this up.
Peter grits his teeth, stating, my uncle was murdered by a low-life scum, and you are not fit to even say his name. Peter then takes his glasses to Bruce and Norman to the folks opens his mouth. Norman holds it back, telling him not to. Norman wipes his face off, telling Eric, you better teach your young friend some manners. He is no friend, right? Eric gets another, oh yes, he's my friend. Come on. We've overstayed our welcome. A few moments later, the bouncer throws Peter out, and Felicia tells Eric, you know the rules. Don't bring your squabbles into a black hat. The kid can come back when he's grown up. As the door slams shut, Eric says, what you just did there was the stupidest single thing that I have ever witnessed. Do you realize what you... Peter stops him and asks, what? And Eric stops. He fights back here, but Peter down himself. And says, it's nothing, I'll take you home. Peter tells him, I got the message. You wanted me to see what was going on in here, and it can't be...
Just so I've got a reference layer.
Never close my eyes in front of
Can tidy all of this up
you want to do something really?
later on.
A short while later, at J. Jonah Dennis's office, Jonah tells Peter, sit there. Urge told me that you're a good kid. Said you're an orphan. Lost your uncle, too. Then Rocco was a fine man. A little red around the gills for my liking. So you want to study what? Science? You can't afford college? Well, you can make do with a job you don't need. Peter tries to say no, but Jonah asks him, did you know that there's a married couple living under the bridge in Central Park because they nowhere else?
We've already heard this. That's no problem. There's two of these stories, but I don't know which one's which. Just so I've got layers.
10,000 words, and it's coming from a man who makes a career on words. Then Jonah puts his two of them out of his office. Peter tells him, I don't really know what to do. And Urge stops him, telling him, don't worry, you just got to be better than we got set up this year. You're not a photographer. Not yet. After all, as Urge went to take out his picture, Peter was there to help set up the lights and everything else, and he got a chance to see what was really happening out there. The poor living on the street, the families with 5 or more children living in a single room, the man who owned himself so he wouldn't have to pay the goblin and leave his wife alone. However, the man was wrong. He had his kids. Then now it was what after that, Peter opened up. He really opened up. As Urge and Peter sit in the diner, Peter looks at his coffee, stating, and well, he knew who to blame. Everyone knows what the goblin is doing, but everyone is too scared to do anything. No one sees or hears anything. One day, someone has to talk. That's all it's going to take. Just 1 or 2 people with the guts to tell the truth, and Goblin will be finished. Peter went on. That night that my uncle died, it was me who found him. There were rope lines. He was tied up so they couldn't fight back, and after they beat him, they set the wild dogs out and torn them apart. Urge listened to this whole news. The only thing that he didn't know was that Peter was the one who found the mutilated body. Later that night, Ben got home, still thinking to himself that he had it bad, but Peter, he's known loss his entire life. The truth is, Peter has every reason to be bitter at the world. Urge opens this drawer to his desk, taking out a small bag. He then takes out a needle, sucks up the liquid, and injects it into his arm. He leans back.
This must be a continuation of the story before. Ignore the heroine stupid stories. That's why I was reluctant to listen to Spider Noir. It's a bit too dark, really. That's what Spider Noir is. He's a darker version of Spidey, set in the 1930s, I believe. If you want to check out the suit, that is on my playlist of Spider-Man PS4 game. Yeah, I've got that one.
Urge sighs, telling him that he's too tired. You can't spend your life being disgusted and outraged. It would just make people crazy. Whether or not today's fire was an accident or not, there's nothing that they can prove. Peter takes a closer look at one of the photos, telling him that the proof is right.
If this takes me too long, guys, what I'll do is I'll take it either take it on filter, continue it tomorrow. But I will be playing Spider-Man PS4 tonight. So check out that post and wait on that one later on. We're cranking it up to 10 tonight because I know some fans that do watch can't always watch me in the daytime.
The old colonial empires carved up the new world. They sent out boys by the millions to die, all to safeguard their profits. He also said that if those in power can't be trusted, it's the responsibility of the people to replace.
This is just a video today, guys, showing you really how long digital art actually takes, or art itself, because the first sketch took me a good couple hours to complete. The inking, when it's complete, doesn't actually take that long. I'll tidy that up later. The inking itself doesn't actually take too long, but pencil and digital art does take about a little bit longer. There we go. So now we've got a layer for them and a layer for an original Spidey that I did first. If you can say that, okay.
At 1 o'clock in the pier, Montana looks at one of the statues of the Spider and asks why the hell the goblin wants this junk. Fancy Dan tells him it's for his personal collection. He's got a thing for the voodoo mumbo jumbo and all that weird stuff. You will put out an article about this one, though, that anyone who touches it dies from a curse. Raven then says, get the statue closer. Fancy Dan, Oxy Montana begin to lift the crate up. And as Fancy takes a step back, he slips, dropping the crate. The Spider God statue inside cracks it from inside. A swarm of spiders swarm out covering. He screams, get him off! Get him off! They're biting me! And while this happens, Peter is watching from the back. Craven grabs a hose to wash Dan off, but when Montana takes a closer look, he says that he's dead. Those spiders killed Dan! While this is all happening, Peter notices one of the spiders crawl up and bit him on the hand. He tells himself not to scream, and the spider bites again. Peter struggles to keep his scream quiet, and then something happens. Everything around him begins to fade. And then the Spider God appears before him. The Spider God asks, why do you tremble, sir? Our fights only bring death to those of human intent. For you, it would be a greater torment. The curse of travel. Peter blacks out after hearing those words, and a short while later he finds himself opening his eyes. Looking up, finding himself upside down. He says, oh God. And when he moves, he feels himself covered in the spider's web. He pulls the webbing off and he climbs up. And then he senses. A few moments later, he jumps off the ledge and easily moves from beam to beam until he lands on the floor. He looks back up at the height that he just came from, and then at his hands stating, well, I'll be taken. The next morning, Urge grabs his things and heads over to Osborne Enterprises. It wasn't hard to find because the piece of garbage goblin thinks he's untouchable. Urge walks up to the door, and one of the guards tells Urge that he'll be seen in 5 minutes. Next time, make a goddamn appointment. Urge waits the time, and as he walks into Norman's office, he looks at all of the taxidermy animals, and Norman asks, what did you want?
And now I've done that, I can actually
And not show up looking like a loser.
rub out these pieces. I won't obviously go make this a little bit bigger so you can see what I did. I can now rub this out or erase it, but I won't erase this one.
There's a clear shot of fancy dad at the scene. Norman laughed, telling
But now I've got a copy of it. I don't have to worry. Or I should hope I don't have to worry.
Norman looked at the photo again, telling him, "This is true. I'm a man that accepts facts over what I feel. I will buy a snapshot. I know a man like you has needs, but you should take it enough to his truth." Montana hands Eric a wad of cash, stating, "50 skits. You snowed up for Christmas." That's right. Just then there's a loud crash, and a man in black jumped through Norman's window, kicking Craven to the ground. The man in black moves with such agility, kicking everywhere before stopping in front of Norman's desk. The man then tells Norman,
You see, guys?
"You a message. It all stops here. The extortion, the fraud, the profit."
There's the first layer, and there's the second layer. Now I can get rid of the basically what you'd be doing is getting rid of when you ink something, you get rid of the pencil layer underneath, and that's what I'm doing here.
What are you gonna do? Beat me up or press me? The only way to stop me would be to kill me. Did you do that? The man tries to say something, but his eyes wander. He notices Eric's photo.
I've noticed I haven't put anything here either.
Eric runs out of the building.
What I might do, actually, thinking about it,
Black jumps in front of him. The man then grabs Eric by the jacket,
frame it.
shouting, "How could she? How could she be working for Goblin and taking his filthy money? You're funky and chunky. He fought you like a dog." The man lets go, stating, "That voice, Peter? Wait, let me explain." Peter turns and makes his escape, telling him, "Just stay away from me. I never want to see a lion face again." The Peter runs down. However, Peter effortlessly got into the boat and jumped up the wall and under the roof. Once the firing stops, Norman looks at Eric, telling him, "You still here? Use those connections to find out who that lunatic in the mask is and earn yourself a nice bonus." Eric gets to grabbing the money from his gift. He throws it, telling them that he doesn't work anymore. He doesn't want his money. This thing that they have is finished. He takes it again and just walk off. And Norman says, "Now that sounds like a man with nothing to lose. A man with nothing to lose is very, very dangerous." Montana then asks,
As I can rub out this now. See?
Later that night, Eric pours
Cool. Right.
telling Betty over the phone that put it through the ship. A few seconds later, Children picks up asking, "What is it? What do you want?" Eric says,
Nope, still can't rub that out. I still need it. I need to make a copy of that, and I don't know how to do it.
"I can get you the goblin." Started asking, "Are you serious?" And Eric tells him, "I have it all. Name, date, photograph. I can put him in the frame for dozens of murders all over New York."
I can rub this off. This has no problem. But
Eric tells him that he's in his apartment, and Jonah tells him, "If you really have what you say, you cannot be on the street."
I'm just going to go around it.
Eric looks up at his defeated self in the mirror, saying, "Yeah, they're going to make a move." He hangs up and he holds his glass, telling himself that
I want to keep this.
tonight he's buried in the
To rub this out, I'm not going to be able to catch it again.
After a while, there's a knock at Eric's door, and Eric opens to see the gun for it. It goes off. Also at this time, back in Peter's apartment, he goes through Uncle Ben's old war chest.
Before I do,
Stitch together a mask. Thinking about what his uncle used to say, even though he was awarded medals, he never felt like a hero. He hid his uniform because he was a
I'm going to, so I don't delete it again. I'm losing my brain here. Oh, hello in the chat.
The spider is dead. But at that exact moment, Peter is standing in the
Yeah, I'm drawing with a mouse, mate.
Here comes the Spider-Man. And then you have the origins of Spider-Man Noir. Now, don't forget to subscribe as we will be getting to the conclusion of this story very, very soon. But to just elaborate on what I opened this video with, our Spider-Man or Spider-Man really did. See, what we're going to do is, if you engage in this video and talk in the comments down below, then we're going to find the most engaging individual, someone who helped all people who wanted to know about all the Spider-Man stuff. So you can help them out, and we're going to find somebody and send you a message directly to your YouTube as quick as possible. And we're going to basically send you PlayStation apps so you can buy a copy of the game or something else on PlayStation. Or when you're watching it, the time it went live, you can go over to our Twitch.tv/EllenWalker. That's what's giving away stuff every hour. That's what's going on for what weekend, guys. Hope to see you involved. I will see you around. Don't forget to subscribe.
Can't get rid of this yet. Am I going to do it after I've coloured it in a little bit more? Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Right, we can get rid of all this now. Technically need to. Just don't like that black being in the way. Okay, so without going too much over it, we'll go around it ever so slightly.
Welcome to Superior Spider-Man, the complete story. So who is Superior Spider-Man, and how does he differ from the Amazing Spider-Man? Well, back in the last story arc of Amazing Spider-Man, leading up to issue 700, Dr. Octopus had finally gotten one over on Spider-Man.
Listen to this one, guys, because I got a feeling this might be something to do with the game.
While his original plan was to go crazy on Parker's life and kill everyone and be a villain, Parker actually managed to reimplant his own memories back into his own body, currently being controlled by Dr. Octopus. What this did was give us the evil mastermind of Dr. Octopus and all of the memories that made Peter Parker a superhero, and all of this inside of Peter Parker's Spider-Man body. Realizing everything that Peter Parker has gone through in his entire life, Dr. Octopus makes a new plan. He's going to defeat Spider-Man by being a better Spider-Man, a superior Spider-Man. And this brings us to issue 1 of Superior Spider-Man. Things begin with this new Spider-Man already showing himself off to be more superior by putting away the Sinister Six finally. And we also learn a few things about the interesting arrangement of Mind Swap that Dr. Octopus has made. He is able to access the memories from Peter Parker's life at will, and the remaining memories of Peter Parker have basically become a Blue Jedi ghost version of Peter Parker who is vowing to get his life back. Dr. Octopus isn't aware that Peter Parker is still there, but while accessing some of Parker's memories, he does manage to give himself Parker's love for Mary Jane mistakenly. Now, Dr. Octopus sees this on-again, off-again relationship with Mary Jane as a weakness that has been holding Peter Parker back this whole time. Octavius severs all ties with her, something Peter Parker probably should have done a long time ago. Otto then takes Spider-Man on an even darker path as he feels that the constant cycle of capturing a villain just so they can escape isn't going to end well. The first thing he does is brutally beat down Vulture after failing to convince him to give up crime. He even manages to blind him.
Right, so that one's there.
So he makes Spider-Bots to watch the city while he goes back to
That one's got going all around it now, but I won't delete that just yet. But I just wanted to get rid of all that layer so I can see what I'm doing underneath it.
The Green Goblin makes a very, very silent return, and he makes it so that the Spider-Bots cannot see anything in a goblin.
Take away there, look. See what I've been doing. It's going to be an absolute pain to get it all right, but I can zoom in, I can zoom out. So makes that a little bit easier, so I can see it so much easier than if I was trying to draw it, because I've got glasses and I've missed a little bit of hand. I'll sort that out later on. Take away that, and then we'll take away that. Actually, what I'll do is I'll move that there. So there'll be another layer. And actually, saying that, should I put a layer? I think all I'll do is I'll put a layer between them. The color and such.
Following this, Otto Octavius grows even closer to Anne-Marie, and while brutal at times, he seems to have Peter Parker's life on track. Now, for those of you who may be having troubles following, as of this moment, Otto Octavius, the former Dr. Octopus, is currently inside of Spider-Man's body, controlling Peter Parker's life.
Hopefully you can hear this in the background, guys.
For Peter Parker to ever come back is currently gone and erased from his own head. Time moves forward.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to name these layers because that's I'm just going to get confused.
Asking Spider-Man to supervise the execution of Alistair's Smite.
That's an empty layer. That's right. So there's the original layer. There's an empty layer for when I colour it. Layer for the two on the side. Those there. Empty layer. Another empty layer. That's good weird. So I'll move that in there. So we've got an empty layer between each one. So when I go and do faffing around and colouring in, it'll be on the layer that is in between. Turn that back on. See, this was my original piece that I did on paper, and then I took this. Once I finished the sketch, and I was happy with the sketch, I then inked it afterwards. And after inking that, I took the piece I took a picture of it on the laptop, not on the laptop, on the tablet. Took the picture from the tablet, which is why I was a bit late today, guys, starting up. Picture from the tablet over to the Krita on the PC. And now I'm just sort of colouring in, faffing around with it. And I will be doing this pretty much all day now, guys, as digital art is a fine art, shall we say that.
They convinced Spider-Man 2099 to go back in time and fix this, which he does because he has to save his own timeline and his own future, since Tyler Stone is secretly his father. Things continue to grow interesting, though, as Spider-Man 2099 finds out that the time gate in the heroic age is being tampered with by Tiberius Stone, the great ancestor of Tyler Stone. Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2099 team up to close the time gate that Tiberius Stone is sabotaging, and they manage to save the entire time stream. But Tyler Stone sees this as a chance to get rid of his enemy. He closes the time gate on his end, stranding Spider-Man 2099 in the past. And a bizarre twist, Spider-Man 2099 then becomes the assistant to Tiberius Stone, his own great-great-grandfather. Otto Octavius continues on as Superior Spider-Man and has to defend his own technology as Peter Parker against
to make sure there's nothing missing.
Stolen from Otto Octavius. He also manages to defeat one of his old lovers, Stunner. And Harley Cooper gets kidnapped by a goblin and brought to the Goblin Underground. The Green Goblin army grew stronger.
Huge pain having to do it this way. Oh, I'm on the right there.
And while all of this is going forward, Otto, as Peter Parker, continues to develop his relationship with Anne Marie. They grow closer than ever. Now we go to Flash Thompson as Agent Venom. The old Venom symbiote has been lobotomized, and Flash Thompson is in control of it as Agent Venom, the secret Avenger. Agent Venom ends up in New York fighting against Crime Master when Superior Spider-Man is called in to stop Crime Master. Spider-Man and Venom begin fighting, and Spider-Man not realizing that Venom is a good guy now. Flash Thompson has to retreat to allow the symbiote to recover. Through a series of events, Flash eventually meets up with his old friend Peter Parker. But this version of Peter Parker that Otto is controlling actually does know that Flash is the new Venom. So Otto figures out a way to remove the symbiote entirely from Flash's body, to which he does, then he absorbs it himself. He intends to have full control over the symbiote, but what Superior Spider-Man doesn't know is that Flash has a series of injections in his system that allow him to control the symbiote. We now have an out-of-control Superior Venom, as Otto fails to control it, and he enjoys all the power it's giving to him. Superior Venom goes crazy after trying to stop a bank heist with his new power, and he then realizes the problems of trying to control the symbiote. The Avengers are called in to help contain it, and Flash hops in one of Iron Man's suits of armor to take control of the symbiote once again. Eventually, they get the symbiote off of Superior Spider-Man, and it goes back over to Agent Venom. Otto gives a lame excuse about a fragment of the original symbiote being left in him that took control of it, and then he just leaves the Avengers guessing as to what's going on. Now, down in the Goblin Underground, the Green Goblin begins to interrogate Harley Cooper.
Oh, this process takes a while.
Green Goblin then launches an assault on Kingsley, the real Hobgoblin, in an attempt to take all of his soldiers. In the end, he manages to defeat and kill Kingsley and take all of the Hobgoblin soldiers for himself.
This will give me another way of colouring it in as well, actually. And then I can put a background to it if I wanted to.
He has an entire army, and he's turned some of Parker's closest friends over to being goblins so that he can learn the true identity of Spider-Man. The stage is set for Goblin Nation. But before we can get to Goblin Nation, the Avengers call Superior Spider-Man to the tower to finally figure out what's going on. Demanding to know why they get to invade his privacy just because he's an Avenger, he quits in a truly dramatic fashion. After that, Green Goblin begins the assault on New York. And New York is now in the clutches of Goblin Nation. But we have one hope. Peter Parker wasn't deleted from the mindscape by Otto. No, he's still in there, in the far-off back reaches of his own head. Is it too late for his return? We now jump in time.
So we've done this to begin with. This is so much easier. I can have different tones and colours on it now.
Bypassing the facial recognition system. He backtraces the Goblin signal and finally confronts Green Goblin. The Green Goblin reveals a little tidbit that he's known this whole time. Since he has Harley Cooper in her journal, he knows that it's actually Otto Octavius in Spider-Man's body. They exchange a few supervillain words as to who's smarter, and then boom, the Green Goblin has Superior Spider-Man's base completely destroyed. Everything goes crazy as Green Goblin begins a full assault on everything Superior Spider-Man. And everything Peter Parker. But don't worry, folks. The real Peter Parker is now beginning to put together his memories in his own head. so that he can try a full-on assault on Otto Octavius very soon. For their protection, everyone close to Peter Parker is driven out of the city, but not before Anne-Marie gets kidnapped, the only person that Otto has come to care about. So, quick side note at this point, J. Jonah Jameson has been making Spider Slayers to get rid of Spider-Man if they had a chance. Oh, and the Green Goblin has taken control of them.
If I don't see your comments straight away, guys, it's because I'm obviously looking at the screen and I've got the comments
by taking control of the Spider Slayers.
over on my tablet.
Except Green Goblin overrides Spider-Man.
Normally I have them beside me on my screen, but I'm using the screen to draw today.
Snaps and vows that he will kill Green Goblin. And then he leaves Spider-Man 2099 to fend for himself. Something that Spider-Man 2099 knows the real Spider-Man wouldn't do. Swinging through the city, Superior Spider-Man is trying to figure out how he can find Anne-Marie. But just then, one of the Goblin henchmen flies in and convinces Superior Spider-Man that Anne-Marie is down in the subways. Heading down into the subway to save her, he becomes panicked as he realizes that Anne-Marie isn't here. The only captive is Amy Chen on the subway tracks. Can he save her? Will he save her in time? How could he find Anne-Marie? Will he beat the subway train? What about the goblins? Can he save Anne-Marie and to stop the goblins? Stop thinking and save her, Otto! Peter screams from the mindscape inside of his own jacked body. That's it, folks. Peter has revealed that he's still here. And it's time for another mind battle. It's time for there to be only one. It's time for Otto to finally become the Superior Spider-Man. Or not. Otto admits that he has failed the Superior Spider-Man. And the real Peter Parker is the real Superior Spider-Man. There is only one man who can fix this whole situation and save Anne-Marie, the only person Otto wants saved. He goes to the local Parker Industries and gives Peter back his body. He deletes himself from the mindscape forever. Even though Peter says that they can figure something out, Otto knows that if he is there, there will always be something in Peter's way. And Peter needs to focus on saving Anne-Marie. That's it, folks. Peter Parker is back in his body, and he's not a superior Spider-Man. He is the amazing Spider-Man, and it's time for the final fight. Luckily, while he was switching his body back, Carly Cooper has arrived and been cured. So the true Spider-Man has the Goblin cure, and he gets to work. He first takes off to rescue Spider-Man 2099, and he explains what happened in a quick, that happens to be explanation. The two of them then go and help the Avengers with all of the Goblin goons, giving a quick, it happens to them explanation, and saying that he didn't actually quit the Avengers. Once an Avenger, always an Avenger. Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man then head off to the old Oscorp building, which is now Alchemax. Shocked at what happened to Oscorp, Spider-Man 2099 explains everything to Spider-Man. Things heat up as they cure the goblins and destroy the Spider-Sense jammer, and Spider-Man 2099 gets everyone out of the building, leaving Spider-Man and Green Goblin all alone. They go toe-to-toe with Green Goblin, declaring that Otto could never defeat him. But with a single snarky comeback, Green Goblin knows this isn't Otto. This is Peter Parker. And they go toe-to-toe again, and Peter Parker saves Anne-Marie, injects the Green Goblin with the Goblin Cure, and finds out that Norman Osborn has actually been around for a while. He just seemingly gets a face change every time. In the end, Norman does escape, and Spider-Man 2099 stays stuck in our time, and Anne-Marie is left wondering if Peter Parker is okay. Though Spider-Man tells her that he is fine. But it does make Peter Parker realize how, in the end, he still couldn't save Doc Ock. And it took his death for Peter to actually return. So what's going to happen now that Peter Parker is back? Well, this story just ended. So go pick up the latest comics or stay tuned to this channel to see what's going on. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time here at Comic Story.
This isn't Comic Story, guys. That's me listening to Comic Story. But go and check them out. As I'm listening to them while I colour in and draw. At the moment, I'm outlining and taking away the first layer from the sketch that I did. Check out hashtag 1 and hashtag 2 for the inking and sketching stages. I did outline this already, but I found that this, I don't think I'm going to be able to copy this with my mouse. So I'm going outlining this, and then what I'll do is I'll colour this in. I have got another layer, so I'll use those other layers to go on top of that as well. I hope, anyway. But if it doesn't work that way, I can always faff as much as I feel I need to.
Now, I would like to take a moment to let you, the viewer, know story has a lot of different Spider people in it. While I will attempt to briefly explain some of them, we already have a Spider-Verse playlist where you can get some more basic knowledge on some of the key characters. There you'll find the story of Mayday Parker, Spider-Man Noir, Spider, Spider-Gwen, Superior Spider-Man, and Silk, along with the origins of Jessica Drew and Miles Morales. I highly recommend you watch those before you continue with this video. But if you aren't interested in all of them, let's little known fact, guys, the Superior Spider-Man video that we did where we explained all 31 issues of the series was one of the first videos that helped us grow this channel. If you're curious to see how far we've come, click now to see that story. For the story of Superior
Again, I'm listening to Comic Historian, so go and check them out if you want to listen and see them. But I'm listening to them while I colour in, draw, and put some more things to this. My name is Blut084, BLUT084, Art and Games. And today's going to be art, as you can see, and I will be playing the Spider-Man PS4 later on, guys. And if you're here for the giveaway, give me a hell yeah in the comments, and I'll put you into the draw. If you want to find out what is up for grabs, check out the unboxing video on my wall, on my page. It'll be a couple of weeks ago now that I put that on there, but you won't miss it. If you go and check out what you would like to win, or the first 10 comments here will be put in as a general, but I will be holding this all week, not the painting or the drawing, but I will be doing the hell yeah all week for people that tune in different time zones.
This isn't even actually his time. Looking around, he sees a slain Spider-Man just laying down in front of him. And once he turns him over, he discovers that this Spider-Man is a part of the Fantastic Five. But something is wrong. How did this Spider-Man die? So Superior Spider-Man figures out how he slipped dimensions, and he travels between them. And over and over and over, he sees dead Spider-Man. So after some further analysis, Superior Spider-Man figures out the killer's energy signature, and he figures out how he can track him. So he portal hops right to our mysterious villain, just in time to save the Spider-Man of India. Superior Spider-Man and Spider-Man of India ride the dimensional portals back to his headquarters, where Superior Spider-Man begins building his army against this unknown threat. Eventually, Superior Spider-Man gets enough Spider-Men together, and they launch a full-scale assault against this mysterious foe. Everything seems to be going just as Otto, the Superior Spider-Man, planned. They're winning and they're defeating this foe, but the trap doesn't work. Eventually, his own reinforcements arrive, referring to him as Karn. And the Spider-Man army has to retreat quickly as they're taking injuries, and they go back to the year 2099, where Otto storms off, demanding that no one disturb him. He will solve this problem, even if he has to kill this enemy. But we'll come back to Superior Spider-Man's army shortly. Let us travel to the universe known as 616. That would be our main universe, where most of the main storylines take place. Peter Parker has crashed from a long night of web slinging, only to be awoken by Silk deciding to drop by. Literally. Now, listeners, we're about to meet a lot of Spider people who make up this storyline. And while we've created a series of videos to help you get caught up, I'm going to explain each one of them as we come across them. Now, this is the Spider-Man that you all know and love, and we will be referring to him as Peter Parker for the remainder of this story. The woman hanging upside down is Cindy Moon, and we discovered during the original Sin event that Cindy was bitten by the same radioactive spider as Peter, and due to this, they have a very strong sexual connection. They are starting to have a very strong relationship, but it's not quite there yet. So Peter and Silk are going patrol and end up taking down a giant robot, which is trying to rob a bank when something interesting happens. Jessica Drew, who is Spider-Woman and also an Avenger, along with Anya Corazon, also known as Spider-Girl, show up. And just when Peter is starting to think of this as a spider convention, the Spider-Man of 2099 comes swinging in. Now, he's also known as Miguel O'Hare, and he's currently stuck in our time due to everything going on with Superior Spider-Man. But don't worry, these three Spider people are friends of Peter. But the Spider people don't stop with his friends. No, Billy Braddock, also known as UK, and a member of the Captain Britain Corps, drops in. Then Mayday Parker, Peter's daughter from an alternate dimension, shows up. And the cream of the crop, Spider-Ham, the spectacular Peter Porker of Earth 25.
Peter Porker.
He stops everyone. What is this?
Spider-Pig, Spider-Pig, does whatever a Spider-Pig can.
Yeah, so what do you want to make of it? Peter still in shock replies, I don't know, a luau? Anyone care to explain? So Mayday Parker comes over and removes her mask to show that she is her, that Peter Parker doesn't know her because Morlun is traveling between the universes, killing off the Spider-Man of the multiverse. They're all here because they need Peter's help, and he is the only Spider-Man who has defeated Morlun multiple times. This is the only Earth that Morlun and his family, known as the Inheritors, are afraid of. Or at least they were. They're on their way here right now. Well, Peter realizes how bad this could be if Morlun arrives again. So he shuffles everyone into the portal, and the Peter Parker Spider Army begins. Meanwhile, elsewhere on Earth 616, Morlun's brother is already here, and he's destroying the New Warriors while he's trying to feast on Kane. Now, Kane is the clone of Peter Parker from the main universe, who has gone off on his own trials and tribulations to earn the name of Scarlet Spider. He isn't as happy-go-lucky as Peter, as he's had a much harsher life, and now it appears that he's about to be eaten. But this is Kane, and he's not about to go down without a fight, as he grows spines out of his arms, and he stabs the Inheritor in the chest. The Inheritor just laughs. So you are the other. As he goes in for the final bite that's going to end Kane's life. And then, in jumps more Spider-Man. Bruce Banner from a world where he got spider powers instead of becoming the Hulk. And Old Man Spider from another world where Peter didn't become a hero. They quickly jump on the Inheritor, distracting him, while Gwen freaking Stacy as Spider-Man picks up Kane. And it's just as much of a shot to him as it is to us. But before Kane can freak out about Gwen Stacy and assume that it's all another trick from the Jackal, Ben Reilly pops in and he explains that they're going to explain everything when they get into safety. Ben Reilly is the other clone, and this version is from a world where he didn't die at the end of the Clone Story arc. Old Man Spider, Spider-Gwen, and Ben Reilly all head out of the portal as they watch the Inheritor tear Bruce Banner apart and sacrifice himself so that they can all get away. You would better be worth it, Kane, Old Man Spider says as they leave. All of the Spider people converge on the Spider Refuge, a world where Spider-Man stayed as Captain Universe and therefore has all of the powers of the universe at his disposal. In this world, he can manipulate the very fabric of time and space, and the Inheritors dare not venture here. They count their numbers as 20 strong, and they tell Peter, "We need you. You're the strongest one out of all of us." Meanwhile, over in the Ultimate Universe, Miles and this version of Jessica Drew are standing in front of the graveyard visiting the Ultimate Peter Parker's gravesite, when the Inheritors decide to pop in and say hello. But before anyone can even fight, Superior Spider-Man and Spider-Punk both arrive to collect the two younger...
Spider-Punk! We've managed to get Spider-Punk now in the Spider-Man game. Check him out later on tonight. I'll be using him a bit more.
Spider-Man Award looks at them and he calls out for Superior. "Hey, we've got company." And Spider-Monkey looks at Spider-Ham and he yells, "Oh my God, a talking pig!" And Spider-Ham just looks at him and says, "You're kidding, right?" Superior Spider-Man walks out and declares, "You idiots!" Which of course surprises the entire crew. "I've been working on a device to help cloak our unique energy signatures that are traveling across the universe, allowing us to hide from the Inheritors, but it only works up to a certain point. And you brought both of the largest signatures to our doorstep. Kane here is a unique signature, it is called the Other, and Silk is another unique signature called the Bride." But while Superior Spider-Man is ranting about how this other group screwed everything up, Peter Parker realizes that this is Dr. Octopus. This isn't another Peter Parker. This is happening during the period in which Superior Spider-Man is lost in time. And almost as if on cue, one of the Inheritors comes jumping through a portal. Superior Spider-Man braces himself and he tells everyone, "Do not panic. I'm here now. Everyone attack like I've trained you." Everyone jumps in, with Ashley, Barton, Spider-Girl, Spider-Monkey, and six-armed Spider-Man taking point. But the Inheritor just laughs as he punches a hole right through Cyborg Spider-Man, taking him out of the fight. So Spider-Girl, Mayday, Parker, and Kane jump in to continue the assault. But Peter Parker sees the problem. This plan is going to fail. It can't continue. And just as he thinks that, Kane uses the power of the Other to spear and kill the Inheritor. Everyone stands there in shock, but within minutes, another version of the same Inheritor, and now his siblings arrive. The fight isn't over yet. Kane turns to Ben Reilly and he says, "Reilly, you thinking what I'm thinking?" And Ben says, "Clone, gotta be. Let's get to their location." So they open a portal back to wherever the clone came from, and then Ultimate Jessica Drew, the female clone of the Ultimate Peter Parker, joins them as the clones go on their own adventure. But we'll come back to the clone adventure eventually. Peter Parker realizes that they're losing Spider-Man left and right. He starts to order everyone to escape out of here. But Silk realizes that the Inheritors are following her energy signature. So she runs past Peter, grabbing one of the fallen Spider-Man's teleporters. "Sorry, Peter, but I have to make this right. I'll lead them away." And boom, she's gone. Jessica Drew and Spider-Man Noir follow after her. The rest of the Spider Army travels back to the world where Spider-Man has kept his powers of Captain Universe. They've gone back to the only safe zone they have, the Spider Refuge. So there's a bunch of stuff going on, and we're about to go Mach speed to get to the good parts again.
All indeed. If you are enjoying this, guys, let me know, and I'll send you a link so you can find this guy it's chatting to. It's reading comics out. Again, I'm just still going around everything, making sure I've got a original still left on there, so I can use that to color on.
The superior Spider-Man plan isn't going to work. Thus, the two men fight it out. Peter Parker eventually wins because Superior assumes that he would never lose to Peter Parker again. So this Peter Parker must be from his own past. And if Superior Spider-Man hurts him, he could damage his own future. So he backs off for now and lets Peter Parker take over. Meanwhile, Spider-Woman, Silk, and Spider-Man Noir are riding on top of giant lizard donkeys. They're traveling between all of the worlds trying to avoid the inheritors who are hot on their trails. Their adventure takes them all over, and eventually, Spider-Man Noir gets injured and needs to be brought back to the home world of Noir. And this adventure turns into Spider-Woman, Silk, and Noir Felicia Hardy fighting against various enemies in the games trying to get...
Pan's always the worst part.
Eventually, Spider-Woman calls up Peter Parker asking for more help, because, as she puts it, Silk is acting like a child and just running around to all of these universes. I need help, Peter. So Peter sends in Anya and Spider-Gwen to assist, but not before having a little heart-to-heart talk with Spider-Gwen. On Spider-Gwen's world, Peter Parker is the one that they lost, while on the 616 Peter Parker's world, it was Gwen Stacy who died. So they both agree to watch out for each other, and they move forward. Once Peter gets to Jessica, they talk it out, and Peter tells them that they have a much bigger plan for her. But she argues, how could you plan to leave Silk with a couple of teenage bodyguards? So Peter tells her that they don't have a choice. The mission that he has for her is much larger than guarding Silk, and he trusts Anya and Spider-Gwen. So Jessica has a heart-to-heart with both of the ladies, and she tells them to watch Silk carefully. Don't let her get into trouble. They both agree, and Peter and Jessica leave the Noir world, and then Anya and Spider-Gwen realize that they've already lost track of Silk. Oh crap. Silk has decided to run off on her own because she overheard Peter and Jessica calling her a child. She figures she'll show them. She'll hide all by herself. While this is going on, Miles Morales is on a separate mission with the Ultimate Spider-Man from the TV show that's on Disney right now to find more Spider-Man. And they currently are swinging through the 1960 television show Spider-Man World. They're trying to build up as many reinforcements as possible as per Peter Parker's orders. It wouldn't be so weird, except that the Disney TV show Spider-Man, it keeps having these weird daydreaming moments where he breaks the fourth wall. Meanwhile, at the Spider Safe Zone, while our main Peter Parker is away, one inheritor to rule them all arrives...
Let me know what your favourite cartoon is, guys. Do you like the ones from the 90s, the 80s, ones that are coming out now, like you just said on the Disney Channel, which if you can't watch them, they are available on something else, I imagine.
I have all of the power in the world here. But Solus just laughs at him. You may be
Mine personally is the 90s.
And he slams Captain Universe Spider-Man into the ground. He then steps over and he sucks the life force of the universe right out of him. As he fades away, saying, "No, I had ultimate power and ultimate responsibility." Just then another inheritor walks over and knocks Mayday Parker on her butt and takes the baby that she has with her. You see, the baby that's with her is her younger brother Benji, and the only other survivor of her family. If you want to get the full story of her escape with her baby brother, make sure you check out our Mayday Parker video. Anyway, the inheritor comes over and takes the baby with Mayday screaming, "No, you leave my brother!"
Right, okay. I'm going to rest my hand a minute, guys. I'm using a bloody mouse. Bloody hurts.
The inheritors are looking for the other, the bride, and the scion for a ritual, a very evil ritual. This ritual will stop the spider totems from ever being born again. And if it does that, we'll never have another Spider-Man in the entire multiverse. Ever again. Morlun takes the child and he backs in Mayday Parker again, and he leaves this place for good. While she's screaming out, "No!" But Morlun taking the child is the least of our worries, as Solus just cuts down as many of these Spider-Men as possible. He's killing them left and right. But just then the main Peter Parker returns with their savior, the Japanese Spider-Man jumping through the portal with their giant Japanese Spider-Man robot, left-hearted. The Solus just starts to tear apart the giant robot, calling it simply a toy. The entire Spider-Man army realizes that this is a losing battle, and they quickly jump worlds to get away. And while Peter Parker is panicking, trying to figure out what they need to do next, Jessica Drew dials back in and informs Peter that she's currently on Loom World, the homeworld of the inheritors, and she has the perfect disguise. You see, the Jessica Drew of this world is one of Morlun's maids, almost as if it was planned out by something, like the Master Weaver. You see, the Master Weaver is the one being that controls the fates of everyone, and right now, he's the prisoner of the inheritors. Peter realizes that her being the maid has to mean more than it actually appears, but he decides to check in on Ultimate Spider-Man and Miles Morales to see how the recruitment is going. They are apparently in a world with a chibi Spider-Man, a cowboy Spider-Man, a catchphrase Spider-Man, and a talking car Spider-Man being chased by the police. Miles replies with, recruitment is going fine, but this is the moment where my life jumps the shark. And Peter tells them just to keep at it, while Ultimate Spider-Man yells out, Web Warriors, away! And Miles just shakes his head. I never agreed to call us that. Peter then checks in with Spider-Man 2099, and him and Lady Spider are dissecting an inheritor in the future, so they're going to be a while. But before they can share any more information, Genix, one of the inheritors, taps in. We've been listening to everything you were saying, and now it's time for that to stop. This little Spider-Man army stops today. And just then, the inheritors arrive with a new world that the Spider-Men are on. The fight rages on once again, but just then, Jessica Drew teleports in a gift from the Master Weaver. The
Okay, right.
That explain everything that's going on. Who the bride, the other, and the scion are, and the future of the inheritors, and why they're stopping everything. It's all right here. And then Silk calls up Peter Parker and tells him, bring everyone to my location. I have found us a new safe zone. The entire Spider Army jumps into World 3145, and immediately the inheritors stop and refuse to follow. But all of the Spider-Men also get sick right away. This world is irradiated and destroyed. But Silk calls up and tells them to go to a very specific location. And
don't know how I'm going to do this.
Protect them from the radiation, along with this world's spider totem, Uncle Ben. For those of you who don't know Spider-Man that well, this is the man that coined the phrase, with great power comes great responsibility. And he died, giving Peter Parker the drive and the purpose to become Spider-Man. On this world, it was Uncle Ben who was bitten, and the Green Goblin blew up his home with his wife and his nephew, Peter. So he quit being a superhero, and he forfeited his powers. And while he wasn't being a superhero and hiding in his bunker...
I'm not going to go deleting any of this. I'm taking any of this out of the way. I'm going to try and figure out how to colour this now without getting rid of any of that. I know there is a way, but I don't have to take a struggle. If I go straight across it there, I'll take away all of that.
The purpose is to stop the Spider-Men from ever being born again. Because the prophecy
Saying
says
that
eventually the Spider-Men will rise and defeat the inheritors. So Peter realizes that all of this is an easy fix. If the inheritors just need the Scion, the Bride, and the other, they'll just keep Silk and
I can colour this one in now.
But when he calls them both up to tell them not to go there, he discovers that Silk just went to Blue World to save Jessica Drew, and Kane went there for revenge. But revenge for what? While we get to that, Peter Parker and Uncle Ben will try to calm down.
I can colour that in there,
because she's freaking out right now that Benji,
but because that's got no inner layer, what I can do
so what happened to the clones this entire time? Well, as with
is now get the design that I want for this, put it over the top, and start putting some more detail into this. I believe if I was to, yeah, that would stay there, see? So what I need to do now is go in with a little bit more detail with that pencil again.
Jess takes off because she's questioning their purpose. She doesn't understand Kane and his rage, and she doesn't understand Ben Reilly's just goofy nature. So she decides to climb to the top of the facility where she's going to disconnect the transmitter that the inheritors use to tell their clones to wake up because they're made by time. Well, while they're doing this, Ben Reilly and Kane discover all of the other clones. And by other clones, I mean Genix's ultimate plan. You see, he was trying to clone the spider totem. He's trying to make an endless supply of spider totems for his family to feast on, so they don't have to go hunting. Well, as they discover all of these spider totem clones, Genix arrives to fight it out with them, and Kane begins to lose control. You see, Kane is the other, a being filled powers of a spider god, and the angrier he gets, the more he begins to change. Spikes and talons begin to form out of his body, and he begins to beat senselessly on things, until he eventually kills him. Then Riley stands there in shock, and Kane tries to get a grip on himself. But none of this matters because a new Genix awakens right there, and he stands up, ready to fight again. And so while their fight continues, Jess tries to get to the top of the building where she's going to turn off the transmitter. But Johnny Storm shows up. You see, this is an evil Johnny Storm who works for Genix. So she begins to battle with him as she crawls along the top of the building, fighting it out to the best of her ability. Back on the battle down below, Kane begins to lose his steam, and he begins to wear himself out because every time that they tear down our Genix, another one gets up. And then Riley ends up getting sidelined by a dislocated shoulder. Ben realizes that there's only one resolution for this. And as Jess ends her battle with Johnny Storm, and she joins the battle against Genix with Kane, Ben begins to go back to the roof. And he grabs every single one of the explosives that are up there. All three of the clones are supposed to go home. All three were supposed to return their worlds. Ben Riley is just always destined to die, isn't he? So he tells Kane and Jess to get away from the building, escape while they can, because at least two of them have to survive. And as Jess drags the injured Kane out of the building, Ben throws the
That'll be my tablet running out of power.
taking the entire time.
So if the comment section does drop out, well, the comments won't drop out. I just will need to check back every now and then.
Thinks to himself, maybe I can make it out of this one too. Kane looks up furious. Then Riley had to die again, and he tells Jess, stay here. He has a monster inside of himself that the inheritors are scared of. He's going to bring it to him. So he strands her in this world as he leaps through a portal into Loon World, prepared to end this himself. We now go back to Peter Parker calling into Kane, and Kane responding in a very angry tone that he's already in Loon World to end this. It was time to stop running, because they can't clone themselves anymore. So Kane lets it all go. He lets the other take control, and the powers of a spider god begin to course through his veins, and he changes into a monstrous, hulking spider beast. The inheritors arrive to the pulse of the other awakening on their own world, and they stand there in awe at his power at first. And then Kane begins to wreck them, throwing them around like flies and growling at them until he gets an open shot at Solus, the father of the inheritors himself. And he impales him with his spikes on his arms, killing Solus. Solus doesn't have a clone anymore to revive himself with. But this just pisses off Morlun as he jumps onto Kane and tears off one of his own spider talons and shoves it through the back of Kane's head, killing him right there. Kane falls to the ground, and the inheritors drag his body off to their home to get ready for their ritual. Meanwhile, back with Peter Parker, he realizes that they need to move again. They've convinced Uncle Ben to get ready for the fight, and Mayday has calmed down enough that all of them are ready to go to Loon World. He calls into Miles and the Ultimate TV Peter Parker, and he tells them, get to Loon World now. We're ending this. And Miles tells Peter that the Web Warriors will swing by and pick up Jess, and then get there. And Ultimate TV Spider-Man is just so happy that Miles finally said it. He called them the Web Warriors. Superior Spider-Man and Peter Parker press the portal. Superior yells out, the die is cast. But Peter stops him. Hey, I'm the one running the show. I get the big line. Spider friends, go for it. Spider-Ham just says, nailed it. Silk, Spider-Gwen, and Jessica Drew all get back with the team. And Ultimate Jess jumps in at first, yelling, we're not losing one more man today. And Spider-Ham says, or woman. And Jess says, or woman. And Spider-Ham says, or pig. And Jess says, shut up. All right, whatever, listeners. You stayed on this long, I owe you a resolution. The battle rages on with the Spider-Men teaming up against the Inheritors. And the Inheritors don't have extra clone bodies, so there's no more dying coming back. The Spider-Man would probably not have won, except that they have one Inheritor on their side. You see, there's an exiled brother of the Inheritors that joined up because he didn't believe in killing off the Spider-Man, and he was promised that if he helped them win, they could find him an alternate food source, so he agreed to join them. This Inheritor is Karn, the Inheritor that Superior first met at the beginning of our story. And I'm sorry that we don't have time to go into that extra story, but we're already way over our time limit here. They fight and they fight until Morlun realizes that the Inheritors may lose. So he runs to the baby that's suspended in the Master Weaver web. The baby that once killed will end all of the spider totems forever. And he gets ready to kill him, finally. Only to be kicked by a hope in the face. You see, while Morlun was fighting, Peter Parker swapped the baby with Spider-Ham. start of this battle, Uncle Ben took Benji, and he returned back to their original world. Morlun is furious. How could their plan be unraveling? Everything was going so perfectly for the inheritors. And Peter tells him that this is all a part of his plan. You're done, Morlun. And he yells into the communicator, Spider-Man 2099, do it now. And just then, Spider-Man 2099 comes riding in on a repaired Leopard, the giant Japanese robot Spider-Man. The fight rages on with the inheritors obviously losing until eventually Superior Spider-Man decides to enact his own plans. And he jumps over everyone and kills the master.
Ooh, get in there.
Everyone stands there. The weaver of life itself, of existence, has been murdered in this fight. Morlun begins to fill to the brim with rage, and he jumps on Peter Parker. If he's going to lose, he's going to at least finally get his revenge on the 616 Peter Parker. So Peter Parker opens one final portal, and he warps himself and Morlun into the radioactive world, the one world that the inheritors can't survive on.
Just realised what I've done, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to delete all of that.
Radiation is overwhelming. But Silk has his back, and she throws down a lifeline and brings him back to Loon World. And that's it. Karn throws each of his family members into the radioactive world. Without clones or a way to travel the multiverse, they'll be stuck in that world without power. And Peter just sits there in Silk's arms. His life force is drained away, weakening him, but he'll survive. After a brief time of relaxing, the Spider Army parts ways back to their home worlds. First up is Mayday Parker, who returns to her world where she lost her father, mother, and boyfriend. And when she gets there, she's in shock because her boyfriend survived, and he pulled Mary Jane out of the fire. Both of them lived. And Uncle Ben decided to stay there to do something that an Uncle Ben has never gotten to do. Become a grandfather to Mayday Parker and Benji. Mayday is sad to see that her father didn't survive the battle with the inheritors, but Mary Jane gives her the Spider-Man suit and asks her to carry on the title. Become what her father wanted. Become Spider-Woman. Miles and Ultimate Jess bid their farewells, with Miles wishing that the adventure had lasted longer, like the last one, which was so cool. And after a bit of struggling, Superior Spider-Man is sent back to his time and place, and since it involves a bit of time travel, he'll forget everything that ever happened. Karn then takes over as the Master Weaver, and the Spider-Man of the Captain Britain Corps and Anya stay at the Web of Fate, become the new Web Warriors. So the rest of the 616 Spider-Men and Spider-Women all head home. Home to relax, and finally, not have to deal with all this crazy multiverse Spider-Verse stuff. That's it, folks. The Spider-Verse has been crammed into as much of a tight space as we can. Like I've always told you guys, the stories are as long as we need them to be to tell the story properly. But I definitely recommend reading this one yourself. There's just so much that we had to skip over. As usual, if you want to chat with me about this video, follow us on Twitter at ComicStorian, and don't forget we have.
Or you can come over to mine there, guys, at Blut084, BLUT084, where I am always there every day, every night, same name, different place. Blut084, Art and Games. I am actually listening to Comic Storian while I draw, as it just helps to increase that little bit of art design that I need. No, we don't want Batman. We don't want Batman. Have a bit of Agent Venom, shall we?
This has some spoilers for Amazing Spider-Man 8. Also, I've never done anything like this before. Something from my heart and my true honest feeling. But I feel I need to do. I don't normally, but I feel I need to. To me, Flash Thompson is one of my favorite superheroes. I have a tendency to swap around whoever's having an amazing story just because that's how I am. I get excited and hyped about things, and that becomes my 100% focus. The Agent Venom has always remained one of my favorite superheroes in existence. Maybe it's because I'm able to relate with his path myself up to the diverging path of becoming Agent Venom, or maybe it's something else. But I wanted to take a moment to explain who Agent Venom is and what his life entails. in comics as the bully around Midtown High School. He would bully a young Peter Parker in the early comic books as a way to give Peter a bully and let people relate to Peter Parker. Peter Parker was supposed to be every other nerdy kid. It fell in line with his whole, with great power also comes great responsibility. And when Spider-Man came into existence, Flash looked up to him. He saw Spider-Man as a hero, someone to idolize. As a matter of fact, when he dressed up as Spider-Man, Green Goblin mistook Flash Thompson for the actual superhero, and Flash Thompson ran away from the fight with everyone assuming Spider-Man could run. To redeem his hero's legacy, to make him not appear to be a coward, he put the costume back on and he went out to stop 3 car thieves and show the world that Spider-Man was a hero who was beaten up here. Eventually he graduated, because back in this day, people in comic books actually aged and they matured and they developed. He went to Empire State University on an athletic scholarship and was classmates with Peter Parker once again. This was when he became friends with him. When Stacy gave them buried a hatchet. Time went on as it does, and Peter moved on to become a photographer, while Flash Thompson joined the United States military. Comics are weird and wonky, so this is a period in which Flash saved the temple, got married, and then met back up with everyone, but eventually he decided to rejoin the army for the Iraq War. It was in this battle that he lost his leg, saving a battle buddy. His sacrifice earned him the Medal of Honor, and he returned to the States. He went through the stages of grief over losing his leg, but eventually he was given the option to join.
Where did that just go?
As Agent Ben. It was here that his true journey began, working with the hero that he grew up admiring, learning to work with.
Where did I just put that?
The two of them became.
Guess I just draw on that.
Sure, it's a comic, and some stuff in here was a little out there, like him fighting against the forces of hell or going into space with the Guardians of the Galaxy. In the end, he was
He's on that one.
a soldier who was injured, saving his battle. He was a soldier given a second chance. He was a soldier able to fight with a new battle buddy once again. He dealt with the misconception that he was a villain due to bond with Venom.
No, on that one.
Every day to prove that he was a hero and not some kind of a monster. And in the end, his
I kind of asked because it's there.
He did. I always expected him to snap.
Okay.
Become that creature again. To become that monster.
So that's the outline that I've done. So when I colour it in, guys, I'm not going to colour it over the top of the spider, so I can have it in a nice white colour or black or whatever colour I need to have it in.
So he saw it out his partner again, and he found him eventually. But Venom had already fought it with Eddie Brock. And the two fought over who should be holding the Venom serum. Flash was covered in the anti-Venom serum, which turned him into anti-agent Venom. Still able to do his job and not able to bond with Venom ever again for fear of injury. But he was back to being a hero, and eventually, Spider-Man called on his help. Green Goblin had merged with the Carnage symbiote, and Spider-Man was overwhelmed, calling on all of his friends to aid in this battle. When it all seemed lost, Flash arrived to inform him that he had used the anti-Venom serum to stop all of Red Goblin's plans to kill Peter's loved ones. Angrily, Red Goblin leaped at Flash Thompson, and the anti-Venom suit was weakened, having saved all of Peter's loved ones. Red Goblin then proceeded to burn off all of the anti-Venom, mortally injured Flash Thompson. Peter freaked out, letting his rage take over, and at this time he had bonded with the Venom symbiote, and he let it take over, turning it evil, with the intent on killing Red Goblin, and Flash stopped him. He told Peter that Venom was a good guy now, and don't let his rage turn Venom into a villain again. He wanted Venom to remain the hero that they had become together. Then Spider-Man tried to get Flash the symbiote back in a half-hearted attempt to save his life. Flash told him not to. Don't even try. Didn't want to injure his friend Venom. So he said his goodbye to Peter Parker, his hero, his friend. He went down a hero with knowledge of Spider-Man. Peter Parker finds the knowledge that his friend had been his idol this whole time. For me, the reason why I always enjoy the character of Flash Thompson is that he is what I strove for as a soldier in comic book form. When I joined the U.S. Army back in 2005, I joined with a bunch of people who wanted to fight for the United States in the war on terrorism in Iraq. I didn't join for anything patriotic. I won't lie. I wanted to get a degree, and I thought the GI Bill was a great way to do it. But during my journey in the military, I met people of all walks of life. Some people joined the military to make money. Some did it to escape their crappy lives back at home, and some joined to fight for America. Everyone from the smartest individual to the dumbest individuals. Regardless of why you joined the military, you became a soldier. Now, this is where the dreams come. Regardless of your reasoning of being in the military, every soldier has those big dreams. What if I joined the Rangers? What if I joined the Special Forces?
Okay, all right. We've got a few layers now. Our different, I'm just trying to sort out which layer is which. And I'm listening to Comic Historian, guys. Again, my name is Blute084. Again, same name, different place here on Instagram. So over on Instagram as well as here on YouTube. just trying to sort out. I've got to turn them all off for a second. Go back to the main original, which is this one.
Maybe it was a legit sprain then, but the one thing you should never do on a sprained or broken ankle is train. I pushed through the pain. I did train.
Getting slowly getting there with the sort of shading I need to have on it.
Here's some Ranger candy, also known as ibuprofen 800 milligrams. Get back out there with a ward of train.
As you can see, I'm doing the muscle tone in afterwards, on top of the original piece, just to basically copy what I've already done. Took a spider as well, and I've put that on a different layer, so when I do colour it in, I won't colour over the spider itself. And when I do colour this in, I'll get around to colouring it in, this will be popped over the top of the original piece as well. It's really important, guys, that you know which layer you're doing, so that this time, at this moment, I'm actually just picking and choosing which layer needs to be where, so I don't overcolour everything. But if I do, I can always rearrange and change it again. That's why I've got so many layers on the side here. And this one in the on the side here. This one here is going to be transformed in, because I've got a request for a battle damaged Spidey. So this will, because it's that bit bigger, I'll do the battle damaged here. As this is just a bit too small, really. If I was to go in it with it more detail, it'd probably mess the piece up. So I'm just going to do all the layers, colour it in, and put some shading and such on that one. Same with this one here. This one's just like a little doodle I did on the side when I was doing the sketch version. If you want to go and check out the sketch version and learn how to draw Spider-Man from scratch, from blank page with pencil, sketching, go out, check out #1 live event. If you want to learn how to ink something, go to #2 live event, and you guys will learn how I did each stage. And now I've taken it over to here to the krita file, which is a completely free app, and it's as close to Photoshop you'll ever be, really. It's completely free, guys. And if you want a link to how to go and get it, then ask me in the comment section, or at the end of the video, I will put, depending if I remember, I'll put it in the comment section down below. But what do you think so far, guys?
Basically, I had no chance in hell of completing everything. I would be stuck at the better medicine day at a time. Well,
Alexa, shut up! She's talking to me in the background. I didn't even say a bloody name there. I hate that bloody machine. When I got there, though, I met an officer whose entire purpose was to make his career. Everyone else began. Everyone had to listen to him, no matter what. The unit came down in orders, but they couldn't deploy. I was locking them out of the deployments, but they had the exact number of soldiers to deploy, and I was unable to, unless I signed a waiver and told them that I personally felt that I was good enough to go, and I would ignore doctor's orders. My dreams had been crushed twice. I didn't know what to do or where to go. I had an incredibly supportive life, but I was lost. I couldn't be the soldier I wanted to be, so I took the deployment and went. Okay, he's telling his story. This comic story. If you want to find out a bit more about comic story, feel free to go and check them out. But we're here to listen to a Spider-Man story. Just bear with me. I'm going to go back to their channel and find an actual Spider-Man story. Spider-Man Dark Kingdom comic version. Now that Peter Parker owns Parker Industries, he's become a big target for various terrorist organizations. Welcome to the Complete Story Series. We take trade paperbacks and single issues and we break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then for British manufacturing, all alterations to the panel text and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This is taking place in the all-new, all-different Marvel, and is taking place after his situation with the Zodiac. That layer is the muscle tone layer, so I'll put that on the very top, and then continue on with the muscle tone for the legs.
Above the prison transports led by Cloak and Dagger. They quickly disarm and throw the prison guards off the ship, and then they walk into the cell telling their boss that they are here for him. And he replies by telling them they're wrong. He doesn't want to go with them. He doesn't have a choice, though, as something begins to take over. His skin goes jet black and his hair goes white. I'm back. Cloak and Dagger have just freed Mr. Negative from his imprisonment. He then steps outside to one of the guards and touches them, forcing them to do his bidding. His powers are mind control over anyone that he touches, and he is on his way to China. Meanwhile, weeks later, on the rooftop of Parker Industries Shanghai, he's enjoying some pork and spinach dumplings from Lian Tang, his driving instructor and the pilot of the Spider-Mobile when Spider-Man doesn't need it. She's also Peter Parker's girlfriend. As he's called in for a business meeting, they drive off the side of the building and straight down, where he arrives at the meeting and he meets Clean Hal, and they discuss the burning of clean green fuel for the future. The fuel that powers the Spider-Mobile, and the research is headed up by Philip Chang. As they discuss the applications, everyone sees the police searching Peter Parker's offices, so he asks what's going on. It's an extra level of security for the celebration tomorrow since Mr. Negative is back in town. They also ask if Peter Parker can send his personal bodyguard, Spider-Man, to a situation in a construction yard where a worker is wildly swinging a wrecking ball around. He swings on over and catches the wrecking ball, naming it Miley Cyrus. He then starts singing the wrecking ball.
Give me like a reggae.
The man tells Spider-Man that he had no idea what came over him, but seeing the patch and knowing that Mr. Negative is in town, Spider-Man has an idea what happened. He heads back to his office and he walks in at Peter Parker. But as he walks into his office, a portal opens up and in walks Cloak and Dagger. They explain that Mr. Negative would like to speak with Peter. He dodges a few of their moves, confuses what is happening, and then Cloak warps in Mr. Negative and he grabs Peter Parker. Now that Peter Parker is under his control, he will show Mr. Negative the proper respect.
Mr. Negative is obviously in the new Spider-Man game. Again, I will be playing that one later on, guys. Check out the post on my wall there, or if you ding the bell on that post, guys, you will get a ping to when I go live. Otherwise, I will be here again live playing that game at 10 o'clock, cranking up to 10.
Luckily, Mr. Negative doesn't know that Spider-Man and Peter Parker are one and the same. But now Peter does know Mr. Negative's plans. So as Cloak goes to leave, Peter hits with a spider tracer, and then after ditching his girlfriend on the roof of the building, he goes right to work tracking down Cloak. While swinging, he gets to work delegating at the same time. He calls up the police to request some backup, then he calls Anna Maria to check in on the company in London and then the company in New York. While London and New York are going crazy right now due to Peter firing son Johnny and Harry having other obligations, Spider-Man gets to the factory where they are mass-producing the shade drugs. As he lands on the wall, and everyone can tell that he's there, he simply tells them, "Hey guys, I'm here. I'm the proverbial fly on the wall." And then he jumps in. The Cloak informs him that he was never funny, even before Mr. Negative turned to them. Okay, ouch, that hurt. The drugs begin flying through the air as Cloak begins to flee, and the drugs begin to stick to all of the guards. Alright, that was actually pretty smart, but a completely evil move, Spider-Man says, realizing that he is now surrounded by crazy individuals. Meanwhile, Mr. Negative is talking to himself. You see, Mr. Negative is also a normal man named Martin Lee. He changes back and forth, and right now he has Martin Lee chained up while Mr. Negative is giving him a speech through the TV where it's been pre-recorded. He explains that while they are polar opposites and they normally argue over their goal, this is one goal that he thinks that they can agree on. The crime boss that started all of this and wrecked Martin Lee's life has become old man Shang Kwang Hao, and through some shady deals with the government, he has gone from being a crime lord to China's greatest humanitarian. If Martin Lee agrees to stop fighting with his evil half, they can stop Kwang Hao together. Martin doesn't need to think about it. Alright, I'm in. Back in the factory, Spider-Man is whipping everyone to the wall while trying to dodge daggers, until she finally hits her mark, throwing him to the ground. Cloak and Dagger begin to approach the now beaten Spider-Man as he begins to apologize to Tandy, and then kicks a box of the drugs onto her. She begins going crazy, so Cloak gets to grab her and teleport them both away. Spider-Man then gets to his feet, remembering that he still has a tracer on Cloak. Mr. Negative still thinks that he has Parker, and Parker now has a general idea for the basics. For once, Spider-Man is holding all of the cards. This doesn't make sense. This is Spider-Man. It's all supposed to go wrong. Meanwhile, Lian Tang is standing at the bedside of her mother. She calls up Scorpio, the leader of the Zodiac Gang. If you want to see Spider-Man's first run-in with the Zodiac Gang, then check out the last video in this series linked down below. Miss Tang asks him for more of the experimental drugs that are easing her mother's pain. Scorpio tells her that there are only so many times that she can supply the security codes to the building to him, revealing to us that Miss Tang is the one that gave up the access codes in the last adventure. Really should just watch that last video. She tells Scorpio that she'll give him something more, the Spider-Man, and then she walks in to see the one thing that stands a chance against him, the Spider-Mobile. The next day, Peter Parker tells the world about his new green fuel at the celebration as he goes upstairs to get the award of the Humanitarian of the Year to Kwong Hao. He then walks over with Mr. Negative watching from a TV and hands Mr. Kwong Hao the award. And nothing happens. Mr. Negative is confused. That dose of shade should have been near lethal. Realizing that something is wrong, he has Cloak teleport everyone there. But don't worry, it was more than enough time for Spider-Man to change into his costume. Mr. Negative warps him, shouting that Parker has a lot to answer for. When all of the members of the police force...
There we go. We're not looking too bad now. I'm going to step away for a minute, guys. So enjoy what you're listening to. And I will be back in 2 or 3. Just going to make myself a quick drink. Give my leg a stretch, give my arm a stretch, and give my hand a little bit of a rest. As that takes quite a bit because I'm using a mouse. But again, guys, if you want to leave a comment, you can. I will reply to anything that gets said to me. And if you got a request, I'll put it either into this today, or I will take it for a next Spidey draw, which will be coming very soon. We'll be doing that in pencil first, so definitely check those out, guys. #1 for the sketch in pencil, #2 for the inking video, guys. Otherwise, guys, I will be back very shortly in about 2 or 3 minutes. You will probably hear me in the background as well, making myself a nice cup of tea so I can get a little bit more ideas, give myself a little break so I can come back with a fresher mind. But enjoy listening to the Comic Story playlist while I do.
Building, so Spider-Man whips up its legs and holds it tight, but it's too heavy, and they all begin to plummet to the streets down below. Leanne, don't worry, we're gonna be okay, Spider-Man shouts, and she shouts back, how? Because Spider-Man's Spidey sense isn't tingling, which means that Cloak teleports in right below them to catch it because there was no immediate danger, and he teleports everyone back to the ground below. It's good to have your friends back. Everyone lands in the streets, and Spider-Man walks over to Mia. She is a mess. She wants to know, is she fired? Is she going to jail? Just tell her mom that she will be, and Spider-Man stops her. He understands why she did it and why she was the mole. Maybe she can dig up some dirt for the good guys now. With that resolved, he walks over to Cloak and Dagger, and they all teleport to Mr. Negative's base of operation as he's already fled the scene of the crime. But they don't discover him. They only discover a message left for them by Martin Lee, stating that he's the same as Mr. Negative now. He wants his revenge, and if they are smart, they'll leave him alone. So they all move back to the rooftop. Spider-Man asks them, you guys want to get some dim sum? It's a nice little bridging story, and personally I enjoyed it, but it looks like we're going to go back into the Zodiac story next with Spider-Man. So if you want to read the next issue, then go ahead and pick up Amazing Spider-Man to continue this storyline right now. I'm Betty the Comic Storian, and you can follow me on Twitter @Comic Storian or Instagram.
Again, that's Comic Storian, guys. Go and check him out. If you need a link, let me know down below, and I will post that for you.
Feature boy.
Oh, I saw this the other day.
Some utility. It's a fanny pack, and you know it. Now we're getting this guy's mother. It's time for Spider-Man to stop the Zodiac. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read a dramatic back to you.
Again, this is not my playlist, guys, that I'm listening to. This is something that I do very much enjoy listening to, so go and check them out if you need to.
Check out our other 2 videos on the all-new, all-different Amazing Spider-Man if you're feeling a little lost. Our story begins with Nick Fury paying a visit to Peter Parker, who works in the Baxter Building.
Just something I like to listen to while I draw and do a little bit extra. It gives you time. It takes away that dead air space while I'm not talking.
Not to worry, and Nick goes with him. And then he tells Spider-Man that he kind of needs to see Peter about locating Scorpion. Spider-Man tells him not to worry. He's got a plan. This way to the secret elevator. Once the 2 of them step towards it, Spider-Man gives Nick a spacesuit, and Nick looks down at it and he asks, what's going on? Spider-Man explains that they're going into space to reactivate the SHIELD satellite that Scorpio hijacked. So, to the Arachno rocket! Over in Paris, one of Scorpio's men, Gemini, has called in to inform Scorpio that Spider-Man has made a move towards space. Scorpio asks how this could possibly happen, being that Gemini has the ability to see into the future by 1 day. Gemini tells him that his visions reset at the start of a new day, so Spider-Man went when Gemini couldn't see him, but they already have it brought up on the view. Scorpio goes to watch as Spider-Man begins to move closer to the satellite, and he already knows how to handle this. As Nick Fury and Spider-Man reach the satellite, Spider-Man says that his sensors are going off like crazy. And when they turn, all of the other satellites that Scorpio hijacked are flying right at them. Nick tells Spider-Man to get to work while he begins blasting all of these oncoming satellites. But as Spider-Man finishes locating the relic that they are searching for with the hijacked satellite, Nick tells him that there's one more satellite that he kind of couldn't get. It's kind of big. Spider-Man tells him not to worry. He's got this. Arachno rocket to the rescue! Spider-Man uses their ship to crash into the remaining satellite. And that's what Nick asks, how are they supposed to get home? Spider-Man points over to the International Space Station and he tells Nick to go over there. Spider-Man's found traces of the relic, which is currently in Paris, so he's going to go directly down there. So Spider-Man begins to descend back to Earth, literally in a spacesuit, and that's it. As he's falling and re-entering the atmosphere, he begins to realize that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. And as he continues to fall and his suit begins to get destroyed in the process, he calls up Anna Maria, who runs the London headquarters of Parker Industries. And he tells her that he's kind of going to need a little bit of help. She asks him how. He's currently in New York. And Peter Parker tells her that he was, but then he was in space, and now he's in Paris. So could she bring him an extra suit? No rush. As he begins to pick up speed and his web parachutes begin to burn up, he starts to cover himself in a ball of web. And he begins to think that this should work, right? Should totally work. And then he comes crashing back down on Earth, and he thinks, yes, he did it. He has a bit of a large bruise, and he broke his suit, but he did it. He crash landed back on Earth. But before long, a green light begins to shine through, and soon a hole is blown open in this ball of web. And as Spider-Man lays there, Scorpio himself stands over him. Spider-Man politely asks Scorpio if he can just give him a second. He just kind of fell from space. And Scorpio explains that he kind of knew where he was going to fall. He also knows that Spider-Man is out of web fluid, and he has no gadgets that can help him right now. Scorpio then blasts at him, but Spider-Man says, well, guess what? I still have my sense, speed, and strength, and even without those things, I'm still Spider-Man. They begin to battle it out. Scorpio says that all of this is useless. He has the Zodiac Key. But Spider-Man tells him that there's kind of a flaw with the Zodiac Key, and he punches Scorpio right through the hole in the key. When Scorpio gets back up, he tells Spider-Man that he knows his weaknesses as well. And it's innocent bystanders. Using the power of the Zodiac Key, he tosses cars at people nearby. Spider-Man jumps in to save them, getting hit by the cars himself. Just before Scorpio can finish him off, though, he gets a call from Gemini telling him that he needs to go. Right this second. So Scorpio knocks the person off of their motorcycle and he escapes, but not before Spider-Man shoots a tracer onto Scorpio. Spider-Man yells, yeah, you better run. There, that showed him. Yeah, me. After a short while, Anna flies over in their hover car to pick up Spider-Man and give him his supplies. While he starts changing, they find that Scorpio is traveling by train somewhere else, so they begin to give chase after him. Once they get aboard the train, Scorpio starts to hijack the train by placing Zodiac masks on the conductors. Just as he finishes converting the second conductor, he hears Spider-Man over the intercom informing them that there might be a terrorist aboard the train. But don't worry, Spider-Man's on his way. Anna flies in close to the train, and Spider-Man jumps on board. But Scorpio is already waiting, and he blasts Spider-Man as he lands. He tries to fire a web at him, but the winds begin to blow the webbing all over the place and not towards the target. So Spider-Man tells Scorpio, guess I can't get a good shot either. Is that a stalemate? But Scorpio replies to him, no, remember, I know your weaknesses. And he shoots above the train, causing various rocks to fall on Anna. Spider-Man jumps back to try and save her, but the falling rocks cause Anna to spin out of control and crash into the ground. Even though the car is damaged, they are able to fly away, but while Spider-Man is trying to figure out his next move, the robot brain asks, why were you even in space anyway? And that's what he remembers. He was tracking the traces of the artifact. He remembers where he has to go. Anna begins to fly where Spider-Man tells her to go, and when they reach the home of where the traces came from, Spider-Man begins to remember this house. This is the house of Vernon Jacobs, one of Parker Industries' biggest shareholders and investors. And judging by all of the star charts and Zodiac-themed sculptures, he's probably Scorpio. Spider-Man begins to go deeper into the house, and he realizes that Scorpio was using Parker Industries' resources to do God knows what. But there's so much for him to go through, that Spider-Man might be a little too late. What should he do? So Anna tells him to ask for help, and he responds with, well, I kind of just did. But she tells him, not her, that Scorpio can use the company, so can Spider-Man. So Spider-Man begins to call in some of the company's brightest individuals as holograms to look over this facility. The team looks around and Spider-Man tells them, all right, their boss wants to know what they found. But before they can really go into their findings, a hologram of Scorpio appears. He now reveals himself to be Vernon, and he tells Spider-Man that it was actually him, with the power of Gemini, the individual that can look one day into the future, who built up Parker Industries to what it is now. So Spider-Man can go ahead and tell Peter Parker that all of those profits helped fund the Zodiac Group. Spider-Man tells him that he's gonna stop this. The Scorpio tells him he really shouldn't cross him, because with a snap, he can bring it all down. Wealth, fame, power, all of it gone! Spider-Man responds with, he isn't sure what Scorpio is planning, but he knows it's big. So he and Peter are ready to lose it all and take him down. Spider-Man's team begins to try and find the location of where Scorpio went, but nothing is turning up. So Spider-Man stands with Mockingbird on a rooftop and he tells her that they're pretty much hosed. Spider-Man just needs a sign and he can work with that. Over in Greenwich, London, Scorpio begins preparations with the orrery, the relic that he stole in the Zodiac Key. And as they're revealing at this moment, this is the date of the Holy Alignment, the time of his ascension. Just as the orrery begins to emit a bright green light of power, the Zodiac begin to chant that they are the Zodiac. They are the future. Back with Spider-Man, he knows
Okay, guys, I'm back now.
and that's when he sees his sign. Back over with Scorpio, those green pillars of light come down and begin to carve into the earth, finally revealing the doorway that Scorpio was looking for. But Spider-Man appears, telling him that he's here, and he's going to be interfering. Spider-Man, with the help of Mockingbird and Brain, start taking out those Zodiac masks. And Scorpio tells him this is impossible. How did you find me? Spider-Man tells him with the help of Nick Fury back in the space station. He was sending Morse code down at this location. Scorpio tells Spider-Man it doesn't matter. Today is the day of my ascension, and with my key, I'll be unstoppable. He then slams the key into the ground, leveling everything and everyone by him. Scorpio then takes off his mask and he begins to head towards the door that the orrery.
Hi guys, I'm back from my break now. Got my nice cup of tea here. Hopefully you have been enjoying the playlist that's playing at the moment. It's just something I listen to while I'm drawing.
Spider-Man then says, yada yada extension, blah blah, key to destiny. But what happens if someone else gets there first? Scorpio yells out, no! But that's all Spider-Man needed to hear. He goes down, sees the door, and he realizes, oh, what's a giant key for? A giant door. But before Spider-Man can put the key in, Scorpio runs in after him and summons the key back to him. Spider-Man tries to block the passage, but Scorpio...
As you can see, I've done my different layers now.
He then begins to put the key in and open the door.
That was the original piece that I did. What I did was I went around that. I'll get this a bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. So I went around this with a eraser, so I could just have the actual drawing that I did, which I did on pencil in Sketch, #1, and then penned it, inked it, #2. So this is #3 live event, taking it to Krita. But yeah, like I said, I've done different layers now. They all have different. I'm going to get rid of that. They've all got different uses.
Spider-Man asks, really? And Anna Maria tells him, shh, watch. Then we can make her jealous. And Anna holds on to Peter's
And I'm slowly getting there with different things.
That's the beginning of the first arc.
But it takes a while to do a Krita file, as you probably have if you've been tuning in from the very beginning.
Hope you guys enjoyed this also. And don't forget to check out
It does take a while to sort of get where you want to be. I've got most of the shading in that I want there. I'm now going to go in there with a little bit more colour, and hopefully I'll be able to colour underneath certain other layers and then on top of other layers as well. It looks like I've moved that layer in the wrong place, which is a bad thing. Let me find that layer.
It's meant to be.
I could completely get rid of that layer thinking about it.
Sharing this planet.
Let's just see what that layer is. I think it's just colour actually.
All doing their thing, making their mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move that colour layer.
All different.
Now you can customize your phone plan to be as individual as you are. Search your 2 custom plans.
How can 2 individuals with massive egos work together? I'm talking about Tony Stark and Peter Parker here. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues, and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read it to you back.
What I might have to do is put the head there itself. So if I go
this takes place after our last
very top layer,
Spider-Man story, which is with him taking down the Zodiac Gang. This is the storyline
and
following
then
that
put
one.
his
It continues the plot line.
colour his head, draw his head there again.
Peter Parker gets ready to go on stage to promote his Uncle Ben Foundation. But while Harry assists him with his tie, Harry notices that there is someone else here, Mary Jane. Peter asks her what she's doing, and she tells him that she's making an entrance. But actually, she's here to work with her new boss. Peter begins to ask what happened to her.
I'm going to remove that layer because I don't know.
Wait. New boss?
Don't think that layer is going to be needed, to be honest with you.
Stark steps in. Peter says, hello, Tony. And then he realizes that this is her new boss. Tony asks Peter if he and Mary Jane know each other. Peter tells him, yeah, we all lived together in the Avengers Tower, Tony. Don't you remember? You helped me build the Iron Spider suit for Spider-Man? Nope, Tony tells him. Tony then goes on to state that being Tony Stark, you meets so many people. It's hard to keep track of them all. And with that, Peter has to start getting ready to remove the Uncle Ben Foundation. So Tony and Mary Jane head off to their seats. But before sitting, they meet Augustus Roman, the CEO of Empire Unlimited. Mary Jane asks if they've met before, but Augustus tells her, certainly not. I would remember. A short while later, Peter gets on stage, but before he can go into his speech, claws begin to appear behind him, and through the wall goes the corporate espionage supervillain, jumps out telling everyone that he sees what everyone is doing. Everyone here has been feeding off the poor and the disenfranchised, but none of them are worse than Augustus Roman. Ghost then begins to charge his attack, and he blasts Augustus, knocking him down. Peter Parker and Tony Stark both suit up, and they swoop in to stop Ghost, but when the two of them jump out of nowhere and they begin attacking, both Peter and Tony argue about who's going to stop Ghost. They begin to bicker back and forth that Spider-Man's better than Iron Man. But no, Iron Man's better than Spider-Man. And Ghost begins to ask, are you guys being for real right now? Mary Jane and Harry run over to Augustus and they help him up, but Augustus tells them, I will be fine. Harry then tells him it's the least that they can do. Someone saved him and his family a few nights ago, so we should pay it forward. Peter and Tony, as Iron Man and Spider-Man, continue to argue over who should take down Ghost. And that's when Peter mentions that Parker Industries is way bigger than Stark Industries. And Ghost kind of agrees. So who blasts Spider-Man? Ghost begins to escape and Tony gets chased, but Tony's attack doesn't seem to be doing anything to Ghost. That's when Peter returns to the fight, and it's the same thing. His attacks don't seem to be doing anything. Ghost states that he has seen their attacks before, and he prepared for this, even for Spider-Man's new move, because it was posted on YouTube. Peter and Tony follow Ghost, and Peter begins to ask if this is the part where we actually team up. And Tony tells him, yeah, we should do that. So Spider-Man shoots one of his web coils through Ghost. Tony then grabs a hold of it and begins to electrically charge it, causing it to vibrate. The shot goes through Ghost, and it begins to fry his defenses. And finally, he falls to his knees. Spider-Man says, look up, we're at the Midtown Manhattan Library. It's where they did that scene in the Ghostbusters movie where they cross the street. Kind of like we just did, Iron Man. Later in the cellar of the super prison for super beings, Betty Brant is interviewing Augustus about his prison. Augustus goes on to say that he's proud of the facility's perfect record for not having a single outbreak. And he also states that he wanted a place where these super beings could be controlled because no one should have to lose their family like he did. As the interview concludes, Augustus walks back into the back rooms of the prison and past rows of people in test tubes. And he soon puts on the Regent suit, telling Dr. Stillwell that they will be preparing for the next phase because the world will be safer if he had all of the world's superpowers. Later, Peter and the others in his office watch reports of a new superhero named Regent stopping the villain Orca. Peter tells Harry that it looks like he's man-crushing over this Regent guy. And then a voice tells Harry not to worry, she will save him. Betty Brant walks in and Peter tells her it's so long since they last saw each other, but why is she here? Betty says that she's just here to grab lunch with Harry and catch up on things. Betty then asks Peter if he'd like to come, but Harry tells her, no, Peter is the big boss, busy with eating spreadsheets and pie charts. And then whispers to Betty, what were you thinking? As they leave, Peter goes back to his office. All of his workers begin to ask him for approvals and for
this layer is just the ordinary layer. This layer here is
Big Brother program, which is sort of true. He actually
just a color layer, I think.
Visual spider powers taking the name
Saying that.
Peter heads over to the batting cages where Miles is at.
This one probably can get removed.
Balls yelling, pew pew pew. He then lands and he asks, what did I tell you about that, Miles? And Miles tells him, I know it's
that's the outline, which doesn't necessarily mean, but it could be shaped and changed at any point. I'm saying that could be extra background there, so I'll leave that on there. There's the outline and the muscle structure, and then the spider which can go on top of it all. I'm happy with the layers and where it should be now.
Is unaware that Peter Parker is actually Spider-Man. Miles, realizing that Tony just insulted Peter Parker to Peter Parker, realizes that this is not going to be a good thing. And that's when Tony offers to help Spider-Man with his web shooters. Elsewhere, with Harry and Betty, the reason they didn't want Peter to come along was so that they could have lunch with Mary Jane and not have a scene. Every time Peter gets near Mary Jane, old feelings come up and things seem to happen. Betty begins to talk about how her interview with Augustus went, but when Harry looks at the paper, he notices the logo for the prison, and that's when he remembers something the other night when he and Mary Jane...
now it's any time but to start put some layers on, not layers, some layers of colour on.
Back at the batting cage,
just want to make sure I'm getting the right layer before I start.
And he tells Spider-Man that if he wants, he can come work for him. When things go crashing down for Parker, Miles then holds his face in his hands, and Peter turns and punches Tony right in the face. Tony asks him,
What I'm gonna do
"What's your
quickly is
problem?"
have,
He tells him it's company loyalty. Miles tries to break
some
up the fight.
white
The
where
two
the
of them
spider's
continue
meant to
knocking
be.
each other around and flying all over
Go
the
to that
place.
layer.
Seeing all of this on social media, Augustus is watching and he tells Dr. Stillwell
And
that now
paint
is the
over it,
time
of
to
course.
begin the next phase. Miles
Great.
decides to let Peter and Tony work out their
Maybe I
differences.
should put another
He
layer
decides to
there then.
leave, but as he swings away, he discovers that he's trapped in a red bubble. At that moment, the bubble pops and Miles comes crashing down into an alley.
Do that
Miles
now,
then
should
sees
go underneath
Richard in
it.
front of him and
Yeah,
tells
nice
him,
one.
"So not cool. You're a hero, right? So what are you doing?"
Okay, so
Augustus
that
tells him,
there.
"I'm saving the world." Back over the batting cages, while Spider-Man and Tony are still continuing to fight, they hear an explosion, and they both call out to Miles. They rush over to where the explosion was, and Peter finds a piece of Miles.
This is where it gets confusing when I need to colour things in.
Over in the cellar, though, of the super prison, Miles is hooked up to one of the test tubes from earlier, and that's when Regent tells Dr. Stillwell that this is a big, important step that they've taken today. Right now, he doesn't have the time. Augustus then heads back up to the top floor of the super prison, where he sees Betty Grant, and Betty tells him that she'll just cut to the chase. "Are you secretly Regent?" As time passed, one by one, Regent began taking down all of the Avengers and acquiring their powers, even that of Thor's. After returning to his super prison cellar with his latest Avenger, Thor, Dr. Stillwell tells him that he needs to be careful with that suit. She doesn't think that he or the suit can handle another fight as of now. Augustus begins to take off the Regent suit. He makes his way back to the upper levels of the prison, and he tells Dr. Stillwell, "Do not worry. As of now, the suit will be given a rest. There are things that only Augustus Roman can handle, starting with my first meeting with Mr. Osborn." Over at the Avengers headquarters, Tony and Spider-Man continue looking for Miles, and they're having no luck. Jarvis even comments that oddly, he's heard nothing from the rest of the Avengers, not even up here. When suddenly, through the window, Red Wing comes flying in. Tony realizes that's not a good sign when Red Wing is alone. And when Spider-Man and Tony try to figure out what to do next, Spider-Man gets a notice on his webware. He plays back the message. It's a pre-recorded message from Harry telling him that he's going to need help in the super prison cellar, that Grant went missing, and he thinks Augustus had something to do with it. Mary Jane realizes why that is. She, Harry, and Betty all figured out that Augustus is actually Regent. Tony tells Spider-Man to web up and hang on, and then with Spider-Man clinging onto his suit, he flies out of the room. As he heads towards the cellar, Tony makes a comment about Regent's suit. The way that it's unfinished, it looks like he's trying to prove something. That's when a voice can be heard stating that, yes, he is. And that's that even heroes like them destroy cities with their power. Regent flies in, punching Spider-Man towards the ground, and as Tony heads down towards the ground, the fight with Regent begins. But there's something that he's seen. Regent dodges everything like he has spider sense, and he stretches like he's Miss Marvel. Yeah, Regent definitely snatched up the Avengers. It's like he's using the super adaptoid's tech in an armor form. Regent begins fighting using all of the different abilities that he's been collecting until finally he knocks both Spider-Man and Tony into the ground. Mary Jane and Jarvis are watching. Mary Jane asks if Tony has any of those spare suits like he did before. Have them fly in by remote control and all. And Jarvis says that he does, but only Tony can control them. It was a safety feature to prevent people like Ultron from controlling them. That's when Mary Jane gets an idea. She begins searching through the boxes from the Avengers Tower until she finds it, the Iron Spider suit. Jarvis is worried, but she tells him it's okay. She once wore an earlier version of Tony's suit, and she had spider powers during that whole Spider Island mess thing. Augustus then takes Spider-Man and Tony and prepares them to be brought down with the others and put into a tube. But inside one of the tubes, Harry's tank begins to fill with a liquid, and he tries to feed his way out. Without having any luck, he remembers that there's a new app on his webware that Clayton Rigg helped make from his tech when he was Flash. Harry pushes the button, and then a loud shriek begins to ring out from the webware device, and the glass begins to shatter. Harry picks himself back up and he tries to escape, but he calls into his webware for Spider-Man. Peter then begins to hear Harry through his webware, and he begins to wake back up. He tells Harry that he needs to stay strong and not to give up, but he won't either. Augustus looks back and he tells him that it doesn't matter at this point. Do you think that you can escape?
That's exactly what I wanted to happen.
Peter tells him no, but
that's
he knew
not
that
what I wanted to happen, but I
wanted to
can.
create a little distraction so that his
I don't know how to
spider
do that
sense
one.
would come. And that's
Actually,
when
thinking
Mary
about it. If
Jane
I go
appears,
to
knocking
the
Regent in the Iron Spider suit so hard that he releases his grips on Peter and Tony. As Peter and Mary Jane begin to battle it out
here, I
with
believe,
Regent, Peter stops
spider
and
is.
begins to ask her, "Are you getting a weird feeling?" And that's when Mary Jane cuts
Yeah,
him
go
off
to that
and
layer
changes
now.
the sentence. Like this has happened, and Regent ends the sentence stating,
And then draw around the head.
Something's different. Tony flies
So
in
I've got
and
an
asks,
outline for
"Do
the
they have
head."
more explosive missiles? Maybe? No? Oh well, I tried. And he launches in multiple missiles at Regent, blowing them up all over him. Mary Jane tells Peter to go go on and help Harry. Her and Tony will handle things up here. So Peter makes his way into the prison and he finds Harry struggling with some of the guards. After freeing him, he then goes in deeper, beating up more of the guards to rescue Miles. And then all three of them begin to break everyone else out of the test tubes. Back up on top, Augustus begins to lose each of his powers one by one as the superheroes are being freed. But before he can finish up Tony and Mary Jane, the ground begins to crack, and a second later, Augustus is surrounded by everyone that he has captured. With Augustus finally captured and locked away in his own prison, the lives of everyone begin to return back to normal. Peter figures that it's time that he spends more time with his family and not lose sight of things like them anymore, with work in the way. Peter invites Aunt May and her husband Jay and all of their friends to a coffee shop. Augustus lost his family and it consumed him. Peter didn't want that to happen to him. As everyone begins to have a good time, Peter makes his way through the group saying hi to everyone, and that's when he overhears Jay Jamison coughing. Everyone rushes over as Jay hits the ground, and Peter tells someone to call 911. And that brings us to the conclusion of the latest Spider-Man storyline. There is a .1 series that pops up in the middle of all of this. We're going to be doing that real soon called Amazing Race. But if you want more Spider-Man stories, we have plenty on the channel. Go check them out in the playlist, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Spider-Man. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Comic Story. I'll see you guys next time.
That's Comic Story, guys. I am listening to them live while I do my live event for drawing Spider-Man PS4. Again, my name is Blut084, BLUT084. Art and Games. Here every day on YouTube and occasionally on Mixer, but always day and night over on Instagram. Same name, different place.
Where the paints and coatings we perfect for industry also protect your family. PPG, we protect and beautify the world.
We haven't done a Spider-Man story in a while, so let's catch you back up as to what's been happening with him right before
advertise
Secret
himself
Empire,
a minute.
so that we can then go into the Secret Empire storyline. Green Goblin has returned, and he's basically Norman Osborn with a new goal: destroy the Spider. Well, it's kind of his old goal, but now he's really, really dedicated to it. Osborn identity. Let's roll that video. Down on the streets of Las Colinas Rojas, Peter Parker and Mockingbird Bobby Morris are joined by Tarantula and Devil Spider as they raid the nation's greatest drug lord, El Foco Cuero. As the groups make their way through the tunnels, Peter says that his source was right. This isn't a standard spider hole. Bobby asks, what, no witty retort? Nothing? And Tarantula says that the previous Tarantula said that Spider-Man was always funny with the jokes. Peter tells them that there is nothing to laugh about down here. They've got work to do. The further the group goes, Peter tells everyone that they don't have the element of surprise. He'll have to be the one to take the lead. The Spider sense should give them some warning that something is going on. And Bobby asks, what is your entire plan exactly? Just running headfirst in? Tarantula radios back to S.H.I.E.L.D. stating that she would like to take command of the mission, and Nick Fury tells her negative. Spider-Man stays in charge. Plus, he's the only one who knows where everyone's going. Nick then asks, are they going to know how they got this intel? And Peter tells him that someone owed him a favor, because just prior to this operation, that source happened to be the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. Back in the tunnels, a group of goblins appear. Peter says, yeah, this is the right place, all right. The goblins throw flash grenades, and they blind almost everyone. Peter shouts, don't worry, I got this. Meanwhile, above on the street, a cloaked woman finishes pointing an explosive along the street when some of the residents come up asking what are those things in the street. One of the boys says that he's going to go get one, and the cloaked woman screams for him to get back and starts to fire her gun into the air. Down below, the fight with the goblins continue, and Tarantula says that she thought that this impressive spider sense was going to alert them. Peter tells her, yeah, if you want out, that's
try and name it, but I can't.
Back that way. Bobby shouts to just stop it. She gets that he's not always a team player, but he needs backup on this one. Peter punches into one of the goblins and tells her no. He knows exactly what he needs, and it's not anyone who's going to hold him back or be in his way. Is that clear? Bobby asks, what's gotten into you? And Peter says that she has no idea what he's been through, what he's lost. He needs this win. He needs Osborn. Devil Spider jumps in, kicking one of the goblins, stating that he thought that they were supposed to be after El Facaro. You know, their nation's drug lord and gun runner. And Peter tells him that there is no El Facaro. There never was. It's Norman Osborn using another face with another identity. Just then, Facaro appears with a machine gun firing, stating that he has gutted people for much less than breaking into his home. Back topside, the cloaked woman makes sure that the coast is clear of any remaining residents and then presses the switch, causing a massive explosion. The shockwave of the blast travels all the way back underground where Peter and the rest are hiding out. Facaro makes his escape, and Peter spots a bag with pumpkin bombs and calls calls out to Devil Spider. After Peter tosses a goblin at him, Devil Spider asks what is he supposed to do with this guy. Peter says that they're shield guys. Take these men and get out. Take the pods. Don't wait for him. One of the field agents then looks at Bobby and asks what do they do, and she tells them, do what Spider-Man says. She's sticking with him. As Peter and Bobby run on, she asks what is the plan then, and Peter says that he has no idea. He's kind of making it up as he goes. While the structure behind them falls, Peter quickly webs up Vaquero and grabs him, continuing to run along the same path that he was going. A flash from behind throws the three of them into the pool room, and Peter says, well, last one has to do extra laps. More debris starts to come down around them, and Peter takes the bag of bombs to the bottom of the pool and arms them. He surfaces, telling them both to take a deep breath. The water wasn't brought down here in buckets. It would have to have been pumped in. But before Bobby can even ask, the charges go off underwater, sucking all three of them down into it. Peter shouts at them to close their mouth. Trust him! Seconds later, everyone is thrown through the sewage drain, and Vaquero shouts, you are both crazy! Peter says, come on, Norman, like you know crazy. And Vaquero shouts, stop calling me that! I am not this Norman Osborn person. Then Bobby asks, you don't think maybe he's not? Later at S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters, Nick says that this is not Osborn. Fingerprints, retinal scans, voice recognition, whatever he thought, this isn't Norman Osborn. Peter screams out in frustration, breaking the table. And Nick tells him, I hope you feel better. That was a spy table. Those cost more. Elsewhere, though, Norman Osborn, wearing Vaquero's face, says that it looks like the real Vaquero was almost killed. His face is now useless. As Norman walks further into his hideout, Dr. Dragovic says that he laid out many choices for him this time. And Norman looks at the wall of human faces and says perhaps it's time to show his true face again. It would almost be like a homecoming. The next day, Peter heads over to Aunt May's apartment.
I'm going to try and pick a nice colour for Spidey. I want it to be fairly bright because I can put shading on it afterwards.
I've got something else to take care of. Later at
It's
JFK
beauty
Airport,
of a digital file.
Should they be taking one
You can modify it as much as you need to.
Isn't there another one that they could take? Peter tells them that the plane is down for maintenance, and on his list of personal problems, he never thought having another
Just
jet.
hope I go over the
While
lines
the two
here.
of them wait for their flight, Peter sits and says that he's got one. An evil clone of himself brought his loved ones back from the dead. It emotionally scarred him and everyone close to him. Bobby then takes a bite of her sandwich and says that she's time traveled to the Wild West, killed a cowboy, and his ghost went on to stalk her in the present. Oh, and that ruins her first marriage. Peter says, fine, you win. Later that night, aboard the flight, Peter wakes Bobby up from her peaceful nap and says that he's just wondering, has she ever thought that maybe they could be together? Maybe dating or something? Aunt May leans up from the chair and says that if that is how
Yeah,
Peter
baby.
Benjamin
See, that's the
asks
perfect.
girls
That's
out, it's
exactly
something
what
that
I was
she
trying to
ready
do, guys.
Harry then pops the
Now
stage.
I can put a colour
Once
on here. I
the
can't obviously go over the line
Peter has
there. I'll
Harry
just get rid of
and
that.
taken to get
But,
ready for the
I can now
Aunt
put
May
colour,
Foundation charity event. Harry,
under
he
each
says that this is
layer,
supposed to
so
be
I'm
just
not
the two of them.
colouring
Bobby
over
tells him,
everything
"Don't
that I've
trust
already
that
done."
the leader that Osborn
Then you don't
could
lose
be
what you've
in
already done,
Yeah.
and
There's
that's
only
the
one way to
idea
find
of
out.
different layers, guys. So each layer has a different job.
Bobby says, keep in mind,
So for
this is
the,
what
like I said, if I was going to paint here, I won't paint over the spiders and thing, and now I've just done the head as well. I won't paint over the head, and I can put as much colour here as I need.
Bobby says, well, she does have some ideas, but if Norman Osborn has been setting up shop in Hong Kong, then they might have to break a few jaws and bruise a few knuckles, but they will find him. A little while later, Peter knocks at the last guy and says that they were just playing Mahjong, and Bobby tells him that this was a serious backroom gambling den. Peter then shouts louder, Mahjong! And Bobby says, yeah, that's what they play here. Peter then pulls Bobby aside and says that he's a little uncomfortable with all of this. Does it feel weird that they're only beating up Asian people? It's just that he's so used to beating up people of all races and creeds in New York. Bobby rubs her head, stating that they are in Hong Kong, but would it help if they went somewhere where people were in masks, and that it could be anyone underneath them? Peter says he knows it's a cop-out, but yeah, he'll take that. Moments later, at another gun den, Bobby finds a shipment of pumpkin bombs, and Peter grabs the masked man, asking, where's Osborn? Don't lie. My spider sense can pick it up, which, actually, no it doesn't. The man shouts that he doesn't know. All Osborn said was something about Ubiya. Bobby says that she's been speaking Mandarin for a while, and she has no idea what that means. Peter shouts, stating over and over, and then he says, UBF, the Uncle Ben Foundation, right where Aunt May and Harry are right now. Meanwhile, over at the charity event, Norman Osborn, wearing his new face, spots Aunt May and gets ready to make his move. But before he does, a woman asks, anything else, Mr. Osborn? Harry takes a piece of food and tells the waitress no thanks. It's actually Lyman now. Harry Lyman. Norman grits his teeth, realizing that his son is now using his mother's maiden name. After everything, he cast aside the Osborn legacy, his birthright. A few buildings over, the cloaked woman from before grips her rifle, taking aim at Harry. Peter and Bobby spot what looks like a floating sniper rifle, so Peter swings down, kicking that woman. The gun goes off, and everyone at the event begins to run inside. The cloaked woman then runs behind Bobby, kicking her away, and Peter fires his web coil, sorting out the cloak tech on the woman. In a flash, the figure appears, and Peter asks, how are you alive? "What's going on?" And Silver Sable says, "What's going on?" as he just saved Norman Osborn. Back over at the event, the guests heard the gunshot and started running towards the exit. But for Harry, Norman tackles him to the ground, asking his son if he's been hit. Harry says he doesn't think so, but that voice in "Son, you can't be my father. You can't be back." Norman tells him, "You may be a whiny little brat, but you will always be my boy, my firstborn, and Osborn. Now, if you'll excuse me, Daddy's got some work to do." Across the way, Peter asks what the heck is going on, and Sable fires her grappling gun, stating that she missed her shot and now Osborn's getting away. As Peter and Bobby follow, Bobby says that Sable's alive again. "You don't think that she's a clone, Peter?" And Peter stops her, telling her, "Don't, just don't. I can't do clones anymore." He swings down past the event, asking if Mrs. Parker is okay. And Harry shouts that they're all fine, but the one in the back on those bikes is... Peter tells him, "I know, it's your father. Don't worry. I'm going to take care of this." With Peter leaving, Harry looks around and sees the man that Norman was speaking with and asks what business do they have together. The man says that he doesn't want to be mixed up in this. The guy had given him an invite to some expo. They can have it. Up ahead, Peter and the others chase after Norman, and Norman looks back seeing Sable, stating that she must have been the ghost following him around the globe. She's supposed to be dead, and they're going to rectify that. As the Goblin soldiers open fire, Bobby radios into Nick that they need backup. And over the intercom, Nick tells her that her request is denied. And as Bobby asks why, he tells her that what he sees is a SHIELD agent out of her jurisdiction in an international terrorist event who just fired at a charity event. China doesn't know that they're there, and therefore, she cannot be a part of this. Copy? Bobby tries to explain, but Nick talks over her, telling her, "Copy?" And Bobby sighs, "Copy." Peter looks back, asking, "So there's not going to be any backup, is there?" Bobby tells him, "It's worse. I'm sorry." And she falls back. Sable manages to latch onto one of the flyers, kicking the man off. And as his body hit the neon sign, Peter asks, Sable says that he was wearing body armor, and the sign was only 12 feet from the roof. Peter then asks, "So you're saying he's alive, right?" Sable says, "Yeah. Sure." Back at the event, Harry takes the invite card and puts the web address into his webware, and he sees the Green Goblin logo loading. After a few seconds of connecting, a stream of Norman Osborn appears, and he tells everyone that he would like to welcome them to their members-only live stream at the Goblin Army Expo. Weapons of tomorrow, today! Both Peter and Sable start to close in on Norman as they fly into a still being built building. And Sable says that it seems a little too easy. As the two follow down the elevator shaft, Peter says, "Yeah, they're totally Admiral Akbaring this. It's a trap!" Down below, outside of the dome, Norman tells the people that they're all about to witness the latest his weapons have to offer against the amazing Spider-Man and the one and only Silver Surfer.
Ever
These new
since Disney
Goblin
took over
gliders will
freaking
run on
Marvel.
power cells that will last longer than the previous model. While providing a half, Peter shouts to
I
Norman,
was saying,
"Shut
since
up!
Disney
I'm
basically
not so
took over
sure
everything in the
your new
cinematic
product,
universe of
He
everything,
webs onto one of the flyers,
they have to have a
causing it
little
to
thing of,
crash.
"Oh, we do
Then he
this
asks
now.
the
Oh, we
crowd
do
to
this
get
now.
a
Let's
dollar
do
on
my
the
head in a little
scrap.
bit.
$1.
Keep
To the
things
man
to
in
where
the
they should be.
Norman says,
Not
"Spider-Man
everything goes
is
in
always the
everything."
fool. This presentation, it wasn't for the cycles, Countess, if you please." Countess
If
Katrina
you agree,
says,
guys,
"Of course,
give me
ladies
a
and gentlemen, please
you
welcome the star of the
betcha
show,
in the
Kingslayer
chat there.
Mark I." Blue lights illuminate from the shadows, and the giant bipedal tank walks out, crushing the ground as it moves. Norman tells everyone that the Kingslayer walking tank comes both piloted and self-driving. Today we will watch as it overwhelms two superhuman combatants, one of whom is outfitted with top-of-the-line Parker tech, Spider-Man. The tank begins to fire at the two of them, and while they try to defend themselves, Peter shouts to Norman that he's just hiding from him, afraid to show his own face in public, afraid to go face-to-face with him like a coward. Norman tells the cameraman to cut the feed. "We're done here. The tank will finish the job." Peter laughs, stating, "Ha, that struck a nerve." And Sable calls down to Katrina for what she's done to her people. She's going to be next on her list. After being knocked to the ground, Sable says that her weapons and the Parker Industries technology isn't having much effect. "So what now, Spider-Man?" Peter looks down on the down flyer and he says that Norman mentioned new power cells and that he webs the face of the tank. As he jumps away, he asks Sable if she's ever seen the movie Jaws before. She tells him yes, and then fires, hitting the power cell, causing a massive explosion, taking out the tank. As the smoke clears, Peter says, "Okay, now that that is over, spill it. How are you even alive?" She reloads her gun, telling him, "It doesn't matter. All that matters is that my demise made all of this possible. Those gliders, that tank, all of the weapons that the Goblin Army sells across the globe. They're all being made in Simcaria." Osborn and Katrina transformed their country into a war machine, enslaving the people to build for them. Peter tells her, "Well, things have changed. You help me bring Norman to justice, and I will bankroll the entire operation." But while Peter loads up his jet with all of his equipment, Nick Fury tells his agents, "We have just confirmed that an American contractor, one with dealings with S.H.I.E.L.D., is about to invade the sovereign nation of Socaria. So from this point on, we are severing all ties with Parker Industries. Now they are a threat, no different than AIM or Hydra, and our duty is to stop them. Understood?" The agents all shout, Sir, yes, sir. And Nick asks again. Bobby says, sir, yes, sir. Later over at Castle Kharkov, the doctor begins to unwrap Norman's face, stating that the muscles in the face were not meant to. And Norman tells him, yes, I've heard it before. Now get on with it. Norman gets up from the chair to check the mirror, and Dragovic says that it's not his fault. He used all of his skull, and Norman throws back a canister, shooting out the gas. And he says, I have no use for you anymore, right? That gas is the goblin serum, which for me, I'm 100% immune to. So this is all Norman Osborn, and this is going to make me far more dangerous. Katrina sees Norman walking out of the lab and asks, how did it go? He tells her that she's not going to want to go in there and asks for his latest face. How does it look? He steps out of the shadows, and all you can see is his disfigured, old, original face. Back with Peter and Sable, they ride the Parker jet over to Syncaria, and Peter says, look, we've got time to kill. How are you alive? She sighs and tells him, fine. It was back when we
I'm just
were...
going to make a quick post to Instagram, guys. Bear with me now.
No, rather, when you ordered me to leave, I used the same stealth technology that I had used before while Rhino was holding me underwater. There was a moment when Rhino let go to check on me, and that's when I reached for my knife and stabbed him in the head. Because everyone thought I was dead, my enemies relaxed, and it made it easier to hunt them down. However, because of that absence, my countrymen feared my death, which allowed the Countess to rise in power. And thanks to her unholy alliance with Norman Osborn, Peter stops her, stating, that's my part. I should have stopped Osborn a long time ago, but things are different. A little while later, as Peter's jet touches down, Nick asks for a status report, because there should be enough combat vehicles to take on the Hulk. One of the agents says, or we could have been hacked. The jet's completely empty, sir. Nick waits for a moment and then screams for Bobby to come in. She radios back that he needs to check the top drawer. Inside, he's going to find her ID and her badge. Consider this her resignation from S.H.I.E.L.D. And as she cuts the line, Bobby looks off in the distance and says, well, it was a nice career while it lasted. Seconds later, a second jet lands, and Peter steps out, stating, sure, when I do it, it's bad. But when Cap, Namor, and the Human Torch invade foreign lands, it's cool. He then turns back to Bobby, telling her, I really appreciate this. And Bobby says, she's worked with him long enough to know whatever he's doing it for the right reasons. He looks at her, telling her, aw, you believe in me. And Bobby tells him, all right, now you're making it weird. Sable introduces her new Wild Pack and says that these people are from all over, each affected by the things that Norman and Katrina have done. Tango asks Peter if these things come with instructions, and then he says that he's just kidding. If it dries, flies, and shoots, they will make it work. The Wild Pack adds this. Peter points at Tango, stating, okay, rule 1. I'm the only guy here that cracks jokes. Try that again, or I'm going to take my toys and go home. From there, the group moves out, and they quickly take down one of the munition factories. Peter calls out to Norman that he knows he's watching this. They could save everyone some time if they just cut to the chase and fight it out.
Hey guys, just still on YouTube, continuing on my Krita file, taking that picture that I sketched and doing that a little bit more on the digital art. Come over and join the stream.
That they are here to save them. And some of the people ask, why should we trust
That was me just letting everybody know on Instagram, guys. I'm still here live. I've been here for quite a bit, so if you've now tuning in, or if you've been tuning in all day, or if you're catching back because you haven't been able to tune in all day, then what do you think, guys? Let me know.
And she will make Syncaria free again. The crowd begins to rally behind Sable, and Peter says, well, that was pretty awesome. When the civilians get clear, Peter and Sable make their way into the thick of the fight, helping push back the Goblin army. Over at the castle, Norman watches and says, this has gone on far too long. It is time to roll out the big ticket item. Back in the battlefield, the soldiers begin to jump out of the toppled tanks. They begin to run over to the ground, kicking Peter off of his bike. One of the soldiers holds him down and begins to laugh, and Peter flips him over, asking, what's so funny? While taking off his mask. He looks and sees that these men are not just suits. They're full-on goblins. Osborn has been changing them. As Peter learns the truth of Norman's plan, Norman himself begins to ready his final weapon, a missile full of goblin serum pointed straight at a nearby town. Just then, everyone stops as they hear Norman's missile being launched, and Peter says, they're going to gas their own people. Bobby takes to the air, stating that she's already way ahead of him on this. And Sable begins giving orders to the Wild Pack for those with flyers to assist Mockingbird. The remaining help evacuate the rest of the city. Peter tells her, hang on, there's only one person who should be calling the shots here. And Sable runs on ahead, telling him, yeah, in her homeland, it will be her. While the Wild Pack provides Bobby with cover fire, she radios back to S.H.I.E.L.D. that they are needed ASAP. Things have escalated into an international incident. Nick tells her, no, you don't get to do this. You resigned. She shouts and they fired a missile at civilians. And as Nick asks, where are you? She screams, where do you think? Moments later, Peter and Sable break into the castle control room, and Sable tells Katrina that her reign is over. Juliet then radios in that they have a problem. The civilians are fighting back to stay, and Katrina says that it looks like she still rules. Sable then grabs a sword from the wall, telling her that she challenges her in the true name of Sicaria. Katrina grabs the other sword, telling her that she accepts. She has been trained to be the best swordsman in all of Europe. And Peter shouts, "We really don't have time for these royal shenanigans!" And Sable tells her to go find Osborn. That's an order. He webs off asking, "Where have I heard that before? Oh, wait, it was when you almost died. Wait, that turned out pretty good. So never mind, let's go." Once again, Peter follows his spider sense to where the danger is coming from. And he turns the corner, punching Goblin Dragovic. He looks at him and says, "You're not the goblin that I was looking for." And Norman holds out a switch, telling him, "Stop right there, or I'm going to press the trigger and detonate a missile." Peter tells him, "Okay, can we talk about your face now? Because, what happened to your face?" Norman tells him, "No jokes. Before you may have rattled me, but right now you wouldn't want me to be rattled." Peter tells him, "All right, no jokes. Just hand over the trigger. Without your goblin form, I've got you beat." And Norman tells him that's true, but you'll have to catch me first. And he begins to run down the hallway. Peter gets chased with his spider sense going off and the gas beginning to pour into the room. As he continues to charge through, he jumps on the wall to stick, but he doesn't stick. And Norman laughs, telling him, "Ha ha ha ha, that one should be familiar." And Peter gets back up, telling him, "Different chemicals inhibiting different powers. You're sure going through a lot here, so why?" And Norman shouts, "Why do you think? To put us on equal footing, of course. Here we are, neither goblin nor spider, man to man." Peter throws up his arms, telling him, "It's not over. I still got some tricks up my sleeves. Web shooters, cartridge set." Norman flips another switch, and electricity shoots out into him, shorting out the web shooters. And then Norman says, "There was never any remote detonator. This switch is just for the electromagnetic pulse, so say goodbye to your pathetic spider armor." As Peter's lens is distorted, he pulls them out. Norman takes off his coat, telling him, "You're the one who made this personal. I was in a different corner of the world, minding my own business, when someone got that itch. You could have moved on. Honestly, what have I ever done to you?" Peter thinks back to the death of Gwen Stacy, and then he gets back up, tackling Norman out the window. Over above the city, Bobby shouts out that she disabled the explosive device, but the gas globes will shatter. Foxtrot asks what they can do, and Bobby tells them that they still have spider planes. Do something spidery. Back outside of the castle, Norman gets back up, punching Peter over and over, telling him that they are seconds away from his bomb going off. He will keep him here so the great Spider-Man gets infected and becomes a goblin. But as Norman waits, he doesn't hear anything. Over the city, the missile hangs suspended by a giant web, and Foxtrot asks if that is spidery enough. Peter then grabs a rock and bashes it across Norman's head, telling him, "I got amazing friends. Also, I got this rock." While Peter begins to beat Norman with the rock, they stop when they hear the shield jets fly overhead. Norman takes the chance to escape, and Peter shouts, "Yeah, you better run, because yeah," and then he falls over in the snow. He closes his eyes, and as he opens them again, he sees Bobby, and he asks, "How long has it been?" She tells him a couple of hours, and from the looks of him, they did much better with their things. Nick walks over, asking Peter, what does he have to say for himself? And Peter tells him, "You're welcome. Come on, Osborn was a threat that you should have looked into. The world's a better place because of Parker Industries." And Nick stops him, telling him, "Hell no. You just took it upon yourselves to overthrow a foreign government. S.H.I.E.L.D. wants nothing to do with it. In fact, from here on out, S.H.I.E.L.D. will have nothing to do with Parker Industries." However, later in the ocean, Norman rides a boat, stating, thankfully, he kept a hidden bank account. He can always rebuild, but not like this. It's time for him to let him out. His real face. They're gonna need his madness. The only true Osborn identity that matters. The Green Goblin must live again. And there you have it, the Osborn identity, and we know what's going on with Norman Osborn. He'll be back soon, but the next Spider-Man story that we need to cover is going to be a little thing called Secret Empire. And before you all boo and hiss...
Okay, well, I should probably go into the colour of blue now.
It's amazing, and if you subscribe...
And then I'll add some shading and other tones to it.
Or whatever YouTube's recommending over here, and I'll see you next time.
Because it's quite important to put your tones and your different hues in there, as it just adds that little bit of pop, and it makes it sort of look that little bit more realistic, as it's still in the basic stage at the moment.
At least for now, we know how comic books work. Anyway, I'm going to be going into that story right now. The fall of Parker Industries. It takes place during Secret Empire. Keep that in mind. In any stories that we skip on this channel, we will be giving you the information in the video. Hope you enjoy. In our last video, Peter Parker was hot on the trail of Norman Osborn and not pulling any punches in fighting. With his personal feelings aside, Peter had to bring his fight to Osborn, to a country that didn't fight, a U.S. invasion. Just before the fight could be won, Osborn managed to escape, and because Peter overthrew a foreign government using his own business, Nick Fury severed all ties with Parker Industries. Peter Parker has been doing well. He owns an entire industry known as Parker Industries, based to an iPhone. But while Peter Parker has been battling against Osborn in his battle to remove Osborn as a threat to the world, he's been using every resource at his advantage and not keeping in mind that Parker Industries is an entire company with multiple people that are employed by him, working for him, and people using his phones for their entire daily lives. He doesn't consider any of these things because he's Spider-Man and he has a fight against Norman Osborn. But there's another individual, someone else who has been a thorn in his side, someone who's been causing problems since the dawn of Spider-Man, and that is Dr. Octavius, Doc Ock. And while he may be dead right now, his mind has been downloaded, and it is being used again. But how will he get his body back? As a man drives by the Auto Empire, his passenger says that this will be fine, you can drop him off here. The passenger asks if he's sure. All that's here is an old junkyard. He's not even wearing shoes. Might get tetanus or something. Passenger tells the driver that doesn't really need to worry about.
I'll make sure I get onto the right layer now.
He shall be rewarded.
Just remove. So they're underneath, so that one's gonna be red underneath. Maybe I'll put some red on for the boots. But I'm not sure if I want to give him boots or what he has in the actual.
The man looks at his reflection and then he says that this face
What he has in the game itself, because actually in the game he only has like a little bit of red here.
More prominent features of Otto Octavius in this clone of Peter Parker from the clone conspiracy. That is a storyline that we may cover eventually, but it wasn't the greatest storyline. The results of it basically are Otto Octavius got a new body, a proto-clone of Peter Parker. Otto continues to walk as a set of crushed cars are lifted into the air.
I kind of like this color being here.
As he steps in, the computer welcomes him, and he tells it to play back any recent news regarding Parker Industries. The computer starts to play several news stations talking about the recent decline in Parker Industries stock. And Otto shouts, "What are you doing to my company?" Once again, for those of you guys who don't know, Otto Octavius was in the original Peter Parker's body in Superior Spider-Man. He was actually Peter Parker, and using his intelligence, he created Parker Industries before Peter Parker came back, taking his body back and taking over the company. Everything that Peter Parker has right now, all of his money, all of his technology, is because Otto Octavius took over his body. And then when Peter took his body back, Otto Octavius was gone. I know this whole thing is confusing, but let me just break it bare bones for you. Otto Octavius created Parker Industries and is now in a clone of Peter Parker. Otto slams his fist down and then he notices that the computer is clean. Too clean. Suddenly, Otto's octopus sense tingles, and the Hydra agents charge out shouting, "Hail Hydra! Identify yourself, intruder!" Otto asks, "Intruder? Of all of the unmitigated gall!" As the agents open fire, Otto effortlessly jumps and weaves through the blast, grabbing onto each agent by their head. Using his newfound strength, Otto throws the agents into each other, and another group jumps out, tackling Otto to the ground. And one says that if he can walk on the walls, he must be a friend of the spiders. Otto launches all of the agents off of him, shouting, "Fools! I will forever be one singular being. I am Otto Octavius!" Soon the agents begin screaming as a wall of mechanical arms will reach out, grabbing and strangling them. And Otto tells them that this is my base, and I am always armed. But still, I can't stay here. Hydra are worse than any vermin infestation. They know this location. With their superior numbers, they'll keep coming and coming, and there will be no end to them. A voice then says, "That is true, Doctor. But that could be used to your advantage." As Otto turns, he sees Arnhem Zola, the so-called supreme scientist of Hydra. Otto demands that he explain himself, and Arnhem says that it is true that Hydra will keep sending men to this base. And if you wish, they could work for you. Whether you're meant to or not, you passed Hydra's first step by defeating the group's leader. You are the best candidate for his replacement. Otto then asks, "Why would I do that?" And Arnhem tells him, "Because we share the same goal, the destruction of Parker Industries." Arnhem extends a hand and Otto shakes it, telling him, "Yes, we will work together for now." And now with Hydra's resources, Otto begins to build a new suit, one with unparalleled designs made by none other than himself. And when the time comes, Otto begins to put on his new suit, and as he pulls down the mask, he says that he's back. Otto Octavius, the superior octopus. Over in a studio in London, Anne-Marie tells Peter to just remember, this interview is about one thing, damage control.
Right, I don't know what to do next, guys, because if I go anywhere with the blue now, it might not do it right where I want it to be.
Says that he has moments of just running off, the whip. So for the sake of our company, for the next 20 minutes...
There you go, I just got to be handy and tidy.
Peter begins to fix his tie, and he asks, "What, no words of encouragement? No good luck, boss? No go get him, Tiger?" Anne-Marie quietly shouts, "Don't screw up." A few moments later, the reporter tells Peter that she would like to thank him for joining them.
As long as I keep it underneath, I think it should be good. So all I really wanted to keep was the actual tone lines, because I can then use those tone lines make this a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. So I can use these tone lines to then go over the top of the tone lines to then put different shades of color. So yeah, I think I'll stay on this layer here and color this in with the blue now.
He shrugs, sitting back down. An assistant then tells Peter that she's sorry.
Oh, come on.
What's outside?
I want it bigger than that.
Remembering how she said to not be that guy.
That'll
You're
do.
that guy, aren't you? You're
That'll
gonna
do, Pig. That'll do.
Sighing, asking, how did Iron Man ever do this? And after dropping Anne-Marie off, he goes back to his office when he feels the spider sense going off. He puts on the Spider-Man suit and he walks into Parker Industries.
Yeah, that'll do.
Not to be afraid. He's just going up to his suite before the boss man shows up. But aren't you guys working awfully late? Peter then looks around asking, where's Gerald? Gerald works next, right? One of the workers tells the others that he's on to them, and then they jump at Spider-Man shouting, Hail Hydra! Just as Spider-Man begins knocking everyone out, a voice calls over the intercom that all agents are to stand down. Spider-Man's business tonight is with him. Spider-Man gets back up and he begins to walk.
I'm going to get that pen out a second. Oh no, I'm going to make that pen smaller.
Tell Peter about this. Don't even think about taking a stapler. As he slams open the doors, he says that he kind of knows that voice, but why don't they go ahead and tell him who they are, since bad guys love doing that. The man sitting in Peter's chair says, really? There's no need for such hysterics. We know each other quite well. After all, I did walk a mile in your shoes. Spider-Man says that he figured it was Doc Ock. How did you survive? Clone body? And Otto gets up telling him, technically, yes, but not like the others. This one is far superior. Spider-Man then asks, why are you working with Hydra? That's even a bit low for you. So how about we both just go to New York and work some things out so that we can make a new start for you? Otto yells, silence! It is I who have an offer to extend. Since we have somewhat of a kinship since we shared your body, I would like to offer an opportunity to peacefully transfer ownership of Parker Industries to me. Peter tells him, why would I give you my company?
Yeah, I did that. I don't care.
It was I who in your body launched this company. Even afterwards, it was my consciousness trapped inside of the living brain that hacked systems and manipulated the market to favor you. Wait, no, I have neither the time nor the patience to wrestle with pride. Will Parker Industries be released to me or not? An answer is required. Peter says, I require you to eat my wet shorts. This is my company and I'll never give it to you. Otto tells him, that is disappointing, but hardly surprising. Now, once again, at my hand it is forced. Soon an image of Manhattan appears as a donut appears over the borough. The image then changes to a news station and they report that all communication has been cut off from Manhattan, but the origin of the bubble seems to be coming from Parker Industries. Otto says, it's all lies and poppycocky, but nevertheless effective. Now the world will blame Peter Parker for Manhattan's dark fate. Spider-Man lunges at Otto, throwing him against the wall, and Otto wipes off his mouth, asking, was that your best shot? Spider-Man webs up Otto's eyes, tackling through the wall, telling him, not even close. But as Otto zaps the web off of his lens, his mechanical arms throw Peter into the ceiling, and he says, I know all of your tricks and how to counter them. Spider-Man quickly webs up the nearby coffee pots, throwing them into Otto's face, and just before he can deliver the final punch, Spider-Man hears a beep. A hollow image of Tony Stark appears, and he says that this is for any and all Avengers that are left. If you can hear this, your services are required immediately. Otto laughs, telling him, an all-out assault on Washington has begun. So how about it? Stay here, or help your poor friends when they need you the most. Spider-Man runs down to the ground, shouting that he can't believe he thought Otto had a conscience. All right, less anger, more reviewing the basics of piloting a supersonic pogo plane. As he rockets out of the office building, Otto waits until it's clear and then presses the button. Seconds later, the entire London-based office explodes and falls to the ground. He then begins to walk down the street, stating, all went perfectly according to plan. Quick side note, just because I've had to explain everything else that's been going on in this amazing Spider-Man storyline, because it's interwoven into so many plots. The attack by the Chitauri and the Iron Man call, that's actually Secret Empire. This is all happening while Secret Empire happens. So that's why Peter Parker can't get any help, and why he's not in Secret Empire. A short while later, over in Washington, Spider-Man gets up on the ground asking how they can stop Cap if he's with Hydra. He's the man who never gives up. And how did he get Thor's hammer? He then shouts to Quicksilver to start kicking up some dust. They get covered, and they need to get out of here now. Meanwhile, over in San Francisco, Psylocke tells Otto not to make her read his mind. Out with it. What do you want? Otto says that he would like full access to Parker Industries San Francisco. There are a few poultry items inside which interest him. One of the mutants tells him that this is their place. Now, he doesn't get to make any demands. And as he finishes, Otto grabs him, throwing him across the city, stating, are we in agreement now? Good. He hits a switch on his glove, shorting up the P in the I in Parker Industries, stating, there we go. As he leaves the Hydra agents inside, he tells them that they have 20 minutes, hard drives, office files, server blades. They want it all. As the agents begin pulling out equipment, Otto waits, stating that that's a treat. Spider-Man and him shared a mind. Certainly he would have made a move by now, so where on earth could he be? And over in the Shanghai office, Spider-Man tells all of the workers that Otto Octavius is coming and he wants to raid this place. He's going to want all of the hard work that they put into their intellectual property for himself. So if they work together, they can. And one of the workers shouts that this isn't a Chinese company, it's his American company, and America is already Hydra. So as far as they're concerned, this is pointless. Another yells, yeah, Spider-Man always receives help from other heroes. Who's going to help you this time? And Spider-Man tells them, you are, all of you. You're going to get a chance to be heroes today. But before he could go on, Min whispers that she's starting to interrupt, but who would like to see him? Says that is very important. He runs down into the labs asking what's going on, and Lin's mother sees Peter stating that this is the man responsible for what's happening. Peter tells Mrs. Tang that it's an honor to meet her. Her daughter has been invaluable to Parker Industries. Her work on Spider-Man's vehicles could have helped him save countless lives. Mrs. Tang laughs, stating that she gets that from him, but Dr. Wu pulls Peter aside before Mrs. Tang could go on telling him that she would like to thank him. Neither his government nor the private sector have poured as many resources into cancer research as Parker Industries. He placed power and responsibility over profit and reaps the greatest reward of all, a daughter spending more time with her mother. Lynn then grabs her spider helmet, stating that she once betrayed him, and he gave her a second chance that she will not.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. We really are getting somewhere now, guys. I don't like the sketch stage of the krita. It takes so long, but I love to colour things in. I do occasionally just take a few colouring pages off the internet and colour them in. So I might just take another one of those in future streams, just sort of mess around with them, so I don't have to take so long colouring in. Repenning my own work. I think I've already done one of those. Thinking about it, I may have just posted that to Instagram though. Oh, hiccups.
Just as Peter attacks, he asks, where's the rest of the army? And Otto tells him, I don't require an army. I have all the arms that a man needs. So Spider-Man sighs, telling him, yeah, kind of walked into that one. He grabs a hold of one of the mechanical arms and then throws Otto off of the ledge. As Otto falls, he grabs onto the side of the building, stating that it would seem that they are evenly matched now. And Spider-Man tells him, please, you're the guy who created the sinister 6-1 odds. Let's see how you like it. Troops, move in. As Spider-Man snaps his fingers, a swarm of spider cars ride up the side of the building, and Lynn shouts they have him surrounded. Just give the word. Otto looks around and asks if this is supposed to impress him. His victory in the foreign country made him bold and stupid. Coming after me with Parker Industries tech. He pushes a button, stating that he's always had a backdoor into the company. He was there from the beginning, from his vertical operating systems down to his logo. Spider-Man looks up as Otto points out to take a closer look. Do you see my signature? Oh, for Otto Octavius. And just as Otto finishes, all of the spider cars turn on Spider-Man. And Spider-Man shouts, what's happening? Lynn yells, the controls are responding. All of the weapons are launched onto you. And all of the spider cars begin to skitter towards Spider-Man. Otto says that he would like to welcome his new employees. Their first order of business, throwing out your fake CEO. As the spider cars grab onto Peter, Otto begins to head into the offices to start his raid. Once he's inside, Peter radios to Wu and Philip asking what's the backup plan now. They tell him that his assumption is right. The signal that Dr. Octopus is using to control the cars is a constant one. Given enough time, they'll be able to find its signal. Inside Lynn's car, she begins to pull apart the computer, stating that she is disengaging from the computer interface and she would like to switch the system to manual. Once she crosses the right wires, the grip on Peter loosens, and he tells Lynn that the others might not be able to do the same, so he's going to need her to. But she shouts, keep the doc busy. You got it. And Peter yells, no, I need you to walk these guys through this. Back inside the server room, Otto begins to look around, stating that everything is right here, all within our arm's reach. As he reaches out, Lynn crashes through the wall, driving the spider car into him, stating that she's going to have to ask him to step outside. On the other side of the building, Peter finishes webbing up the other spider cars so they don't fall, and quickly jumps into the offices. As he heads into his office, he pulls back on the suit, and he rushes to his computer to give an announcement to everyone. Once the connection is set, he tells everyone that this is it. He didn't want to have to make this call, but they're facing a hostile takeover, literally. Not by investors or another company, but by a super villain, and he's listening in. If he were to get his hands on all of this data, it could be twisted into something helping the worst people on the world. It has been an honor to work with all of you at this company, but it's time to tear it all down. Do you hear that, Doc? I'm calling it now. Parker Industries is no more. Every department, activate worm viruses now, company-wide, wipe of all of the systems. As Otto fights with Lynn, he shouts, what are you doing? What idiot would destroy a global empire just to keep it out of my hands? Who could be that petty, Parker? Back inside, before Peter can even finish his speech, everyone begins destroying everything, and some of the workers sigh that this was a good job while it lasted. Over in Peter's office, he activates a switch revealing a suitcase, stating that this is secret weapon number 1. And as he opens it up, he smiles, stating that it's been a while, but now it's time for secret weapon number 2. And then he radios to Philip. Philip tells him that the device is calibrated, and he can send it to Spider-Man to pick up. Now, onto the last part. Philip takes out a matchbook and tosses a match into a stack of paper. As the fire burns, he says that he was so close to perfecting green energy. Wu tells them that it could have been a potential weapon in the wrong hands. Now they must leave. They've done their part. Back up top, Peter jumps onto the building, punching into Otto, asking him, "Did you miss me?" And Otto shouts at him, "Shut up! Everything that I built is now ruined." And Peter tells him, "Yeah, I'm that kid who just flipped over the whole board game table. So even if you do win back your kingdom, it'll be a kingdom of ashes." Otto clenches his fist, telling him, "I know your Achilles heel. Remember Osborn's electromagnetic pulse? Well, this vision will rip that spider suit to shreds." As the pulse hits him, it is a terrible Peter catches himself.
Turn that off a minute.
His old original non-enhanced version. He asks, "How do the old underoos look? This is really the only suit that I've ever needed to defeat you, Otto. And here's something else that's going to help." He presses a small button and using the signal that Philip and Wu locked onto, he releases an EMP wave, shocking Otto's suit and rendering the mechanical arms useless. They begin to flail around, and as one hits Otto, Peter asks, "Why give in yourself?" Otto shouts that he is nothing but a juvenile. But obviously, you don't care for your friends. Otto begins to web away, telling him that that pulse would have disabled the magnetic grip
Come on,
of
get
the
it right.
spider cart. So you better hurry before they fall to their deaths. Peter asks him, "Are you bluffing?" "I can't risk it." And as Lynn radios in that the clamps are still holding, Peter begins to follow, yelling that he falls for it every time. As he reaches the roof where Otto landed, all he finds are the mechanical arms and Otto's mask. He grabs the mask, realizing that he has no idea what the new Otto Octavius looks like. And it looks like he's going to have to catch him another time. Later over at Hydra Base 1, Arnim Zola tells Otto that his mission was a complete success. Parker Industries is in shambles, just as their glorious leader, Stephen Rogers, intended. In fact, he wanted to pass a message along to him that he is one of his finest soldiers. And Otto says to tell Steve that he is honored. Now in the back of Otto's head, he yells, "Look at me, reduced to a mere lackey. Everything I've built is now in ruins. But one day there will come a reckoning." And there you have it. Peter Parker is now back to being Parker Luck. I have nothing to my name, Peter Parker. And in the next story arc, he's sleeping on Bobby Morrison's, or not Bobby Morrison, Mockingbird's couch. Is it Bobby Morrison? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if I'm wrong or right. I swear, I'm going to watch live footage and watch your guys' content. Yeah, I'll look it up right after this video's done. You can let me know, but I'm going to look it up right after this is done. Anyway, if you want more Spider-Man, click right over here. If you want the next story in the Spider-Man arc, let me know in the comments down below.
And if you want more Spidey and want to find out where you can find that, guys, definitely hit a link. Sorry, hit the comment section and leave a comment to say you want to find out where you can find that. And I will post a link if after the video. I'll do that anyway, guys. But if you're watching live or if you're watching back, then you just need to look down below.
He fought against John Connor and lost his company and everything related to him being a rich Peter
God
Parker.
damn, I can't get this
This story has to do with the
right.
return of the Green
Make it
Goblin and
smaller.
how he's looking for ways to bring out
Make
the
it
Goblin.
bigger. Come on, you. I'm going to have to do that. Oh, well. Never mind. Don't look too bad. There we are. There's a little bit of colour put to it.
Time has passed since Peter Parker has stopped Norman Osborn's attempt at infecting the nation of Syncario with his goblin serum. Something Peter has also done.
Got to put a little bit more white on the hands.
Effects of Norman's goblin
But now I can
But even
go in a bit deeper. Now I've got the original first colours over the top. I'm going to go over to the back over to the white now, where the spider is. It's here.
He throws everything off of his desk, shouting.
And add a little bit more white to the wrist guards and knuckles in the eyes.
That touch of madness needs him. So Norman tried visiting doctors, psychiatrists, even acupuncture. All of it had the same result. Nothing. However, after Norman's acupuncture,
I'm going to put my wrist guard on, guys, because it's starting to hurt that a little bit.
Unconventional, but this place is not easy to find. Desperate to try anything, Norman followed the woman's directions to a temple in the mountains. One thing that she did say was that not everyone can even see it, but for Norman, he did. In front of the temple, the three monks welcomed Norman to the temple of no name. They say for him to find them means that he has insurmountable will. To see them speaks the strength of his spirit. To even attempt such a journey speaks of a great need. Norman then asks, "Can you help me? Can you heal?" Master Ox asks, "What about his face?" And Norman tells them that the way his face looks means nothing. He cares not about his appearance. What he needs to be is restored to who he is on the inside. And Master Ox then says that is the correct answer. Now follow them. As the monks take Norman inside, he sees a jewel. And the monks say that before he begins his journey, he must pass the test. Behold, the Emerald Oracle of Icon. Norman asks what is he supposed to do, and Master Hawk tells him, "Master. If he wishes to learn their ways, he must address them as master." Now ask again. He hesitates for a moment, and then he asks, What am I supposed to do, Master? Master Snake then says, that's better. Place your hand on the gemstone, and it shall reveal your true potential. He reaches out asking, his true potential for what? And Master Snake tells him that his potential as a practitioner of the mystic arts. As he places his hand down on the gemstone, the root begins to fill with a green light, and Master Ox says that it is astounding. He'll begin his training immediately. Time begins to pass, and Norman learns the old monk's ways. He learns of their spells, their rituals.
What's
One day,
this?
Norman asks Master Ox, how do they even get their names? Are they ranks or titles of the earth? And Master Ox tells him neither. Every man of the spirit's guide, to this world. There will be a day when his totem makes itself known, and it will choose him as much as he chooses it. More days went by, and one day during meditation, a tiger appeared before Norman. Was this his guide? Was the tiger his totem? He must tell his masters. As the night came, Norman was taken to the room with several masks on the wall, and he was told to select the mask that would help him confront his personal demons. Looking at the wall, he reaches out for the tiger mask, but then he stops. He says no. He accepts nothing.
I can delete that, or I can use that as a shading point.
His destiny. As he pulls back, he grabs the mask of the goblin, wearing it while maniacally cackling. He then begins to conjure his personal demon, and as he casts his spell, Spider-Man appears out of a portal. Spider-Man says that he's got a feeling that he's not in Kansas anymore, and his spider sense tingles. Norman uses all of his skills that he learned from the monks to overcome his personal demon, and he defeats Spider-Man. The monks watch, telling him that though he did not take the path that they would have taken, his trial is complete. What happens next will determine. And Norman stops them, asking, wait, one punch to the jaw and you think it's over? He begins taking Spider-Man's body, weaving it into a small spider, shouting, you don't even know the bug like him. He always crawls back, but never again. He begins to eat the spider, and the monks all stare in shock, telling him that he is a monster. He laughs, asking, who's going to stop me? That insect was the one thing holding me back. I can do anything now. The three monks begin to combine their powers and they attack Norman. But then there's a flash of light and Norman pulls his hand back. And the emerald orb of the icon. Norman looks, asking what just happened, and the monks tell him that that was his first and only test. The monks take Norman back outside, telling him that the other orders will be warned. These ways are not for him. He begins to walk off, telling him that he could have been. No, not could have, he can. Yes, this means that he can become himself again. They have shown him that much. The possibility is still there. He is still there. All he has to do is find a way to let the goblin out. The return of the Green Goblin is imminent. But here's the best part. I'm going to spoil something because they leaked it out. What would you say about the Green Goblin getting courage and becoming known as the Red Goblin? Because that's the storyline that's coming next. Not next, but like next. It's like you out there. Subscribe. You'll get it eventually, or you can, go to your local comic book store and buy it. Click the links down below. Buy some of your favorite Amazing Spider-Man stuff. I can't just say Amazing Spider-Man. I'm stumbling over my own words. That's what happens when I do these intros at like 11 o'clock at night without a clean shave. I don't feel right. I'll see you next time. Welcome back to Amazing Spider-Man, and today we're going to be discussing the aftermath of him losing everything. Parker Industries falling apart in his battle with Dr. Octopus and Secret Empire pretty much ruining Peter Parker. What is Peter Parker going to do now that he's broke? Oh, that's today's episode. In our last video, we watched the fall of Parker Industries at the hands of Otto Octavius as he tried to take back the company that was once his. Rather than just hand everything over, Peter stopped Otto the only way that he knew how, by destroying Parker Industries from the inside out. Now, with nothing to his name, Peter tries to go back to living a normal life, except that everyone in the world now hates Peter Parker. As Bobby, aka Mockingbird, walks out of her bedroom in her apartment getting ready for work, she asks if there's somewhere else.
That's going to be annoying. How am I going to do that?
One thing. Peter lifts his hand, telling her no, because no one else knows that I'm Spider-Man. Where would I put all my Spidey stuff? Bobby tells him, yeah, about that, it's kind of everywhere. And I stumbled on one of those spider tracers thinking it was an actual spider. Hope that wasn't expensive. In any case, pick up your crap and do the laundry. I'm not your aunt, and that isn't going to work. Bobby leaves. Peter sits back thinking that this is it. This is his life now. Ex-billionaire CEO. He flips through the channels on TV, and he can't find a station that isn't reporting on him and his gigantic failures. He turns off the TV, grabbing the paper, and he sees that Bobby already clicked out an article about him to avoid hurting his feelings. As he gets up to get something from the fridge, he sees the clipping posted to the fridge door. It reads, Peter Parker, threat or menace. And so maybe she wasn't trying to avoid his feelings. Meanwhile, over on the Upper East Side, Harry Osborn deals with the fallout of Parker Industries, trying to salvage what little he was the vice president of this company. He tries to call Peter, but he's unsuccessful, and his son Stanley grabs a hold of some of the Parker Industries documentation and begins drooling on them. Harry calls for Liz, asking for a little help, and she tells him that if it's regarding a bid on the Baxter building, then yes, as the head of Alchemex, she will gladly take that from him. Harry then calls in for the nanny, and she comes in taking the kids, telling Normie that they should let Mommy and Daddy have some time alone. How about they get a snack? As the doors close, Harry and Liz begin to kiss, and Liz just begins to think about it. If he hadn't raced home before all of New York was sealed in that energy bubble, then they wouldn't have been trapped together with nothing to do, only having time to themselves. Harry pulls back and he says that this is not how he pictured them getting back together. For them being a family again for the boys is important. They really should work this out. Over in Midtown, the workers of the Daily Bugle are interrupted when they hear something.
If you guys haven't played it yet, you find out very, very soon in the second of the walkthroughs, guys, what when you get the actual white armored suit pieces.
How could you have written all that junk about me? Did you forget?
There were a few fan theories, and I did personally think it would be something to do with the anti-venom, but that was only a hopeful thought. And I'm not sure what if they're going to be putting venom in, because I haven't obviously completed the game. If you want to follow my story as I'm playing, guys, then you can check them out over on my other wall, on my playlists. So, where I play every single day something new. If it's not Spider-Man, then it's a other game that you probably would enjoy. Don't forget to check out the playlists. So for more information on that one.
So it happens to be Flash Thompson's birthday. After getting the party information from Betty, Peter heads out into the streets of New York, and after one man recognizes him, suddenly everyone recognizes the failure that is Peter Parker. They swarm around him asking what he's going to do to make this right to the people who lost their jobs, and he runs off into an alleyway. He jumps up onto a building to hide, thinking, all right, it's official. Everyone hates me. Well, maybe not everyone. Later that night, Peter heads over to Flash's birthday party, and everyone begins talking about how things are different. And then they turn back to the topic of Peter. Everyone begins talking about how depressed Peter has gotten lately, but no one has a solution to offer. He's an adult, right? He should be able to figure this out on his own. But as they all go on, Peter quietly listens from the shadows. He's an adult, right? He can figure this out on his own. Later, once Bobby gets home, she opens the door to see Peter on the couch, still. And Peter is suddenly hit with a uniform. He looks at the costume and says that this isn't laundry. Bobby tells him, yeah, now get dressed, we're going out. After a night of saving trucks from Johnny Horton, also known as
there we go. What do we think, guys? I'm liking it so far. And now really I should start putting in some tones and little hues of different color.
The next day at the Baxter building, Johnny Storm flies down telling Harry, nuh-uh, not a snowball's chance in hell Peter would sell the Baxter building. Harry says that he's Peter's friend too, and he can honestly state that Peter didn't have much choice in this. He's supposed to be here any minute. Up above, Peter swings by seeing Harry and Johnny arguing over the sale of the building.
What I might do, guys, is bring this back to more evening.
This place isn't for sale. Peter tells him, actually, even though Peter may not fully have appreciated it,
and put these hues on because it's coming in time when my son will be coming home from school. So he'll and my setup is in my living room, so he'll be in and out, and it may get in the way for everybody. So I do hope you have enjoyed today's stream, guys. I will play, obviously, do a little bit more, but I will be playing that Spider-Man PS4 game this evening without burping real stream. I will be doing that this evening and continuing on a little bit more with the game. But what do you think, guys, so far? Have you enjoyed today's stream? And what do you think of the Krita? If you want to know where Krita is on the internet, don't forget you can leave a comment down below, or check in the description and comments down below when I will be posting all the things that I've been listening to, things that I have been using, and things that I will be doing in the future. So don't forget to check the comments down below and leave one of what you thought. And again, guys, if you do want to be put into the giveaway for the Spider-Man Amazing Spider-Man Xbox version. And for the giveaway on the figurines, don't forget you can leave a comment down below and I will put you into the draw. Give me a hell yeah in the comments.
Doesn't do anything. Peter tells him, wait, we need to create a harmonic frequency, not a null. Look, we can take care of this, but we all need to work together. The three of them gather around, and Peter directs Johnny on where to
and that will let me know that you guys want to be entered into that. Or if you can't do that because you're on a console and things like that, guys, you can come over to Instagram, where I'm also going to be holding that giveaway post. I will post that shortly after the stream. So, guys, don't forget to go over there if you want to be entered into the draw. And again, give me a hell yeah, and I'll enter you in. Or if any new subscribers that have subscribed today, or if you throughout this week, they will also be entered into the draw, guys.
And I'm the only one getting an ulcer over all of this. So you know what? That's it. I'm quitting right here and now. Peter tells him to wait, but Harry storms out, and Johnny stops him, telling him, I'm still mad about the building. And you could really use a friend right now. A short while later,
as I'm running out on time, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to put a little bit more detail to this Spidey here.
As Johnny tries to comfort him, Peter's phone rings, and he answers it stating that this is Peter Parker. How have I ruined your life?
And just put a few tones and outline. I think I've already outlined it, I believe.
But not taking photos. It's about
The
The next night at Bobby's apartment, she asks Peter if he's sure that he doesn't want to just, sleep in a bed tonight. And Peter tells her no. You got to focus on this. It's going to be a new day, a new job, the perfect job. The next morning in the Daily Bugle, Joe.
Yeah, I have already outlined it. That's cool. So I'll put a little bit more on this one as soon as I figure out which one it is.
Said no one's checked in, so that means he's going to be late. Just then, Peter walks into the side door after changing, and he asks, "What's the hat?" The skinny, the DL. Joe pulls him aside, telling him that next time he should probably come to the front lobby like a normal person. But either way, they should go over his responsibilities as the new sign editor of the Daily Bugle. He's going to need a Sunday supplement that will be ready for press every Saturday.
Yeah, I didn't outline it.
But he'll have a full team to manage. I know that
I already had.
the hours are flexible, so long as the work gets done, he can work from home. Joe holds out a phone.
Okay then, in that case, I thought I already outlined this. I'm sure I did.
Really?
Let's turn some of these off so I can find. There it is. Right, the same page. All right. Okay. In that case,
Joe says that
is it that one there? No. That one there? No.
Says whatever. She isn't the lead.
That one there. That one there. Aha. Okay. So if I go to there, turn that back on. Give this a little bit of.
Her phone begins to ring and she answers it, telling Peter that yes, she's having a good day.
Click on that one. Go back to my pen and do a bit of outlining on this one for next time. As tomorrow, I'll probably be continuing this on in the evening. I will give you a post either on Instagram or definitely will be a wait along post on my YouTube channel, guys. So definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
A little while later, a Humanitech, Xander gives the tour to Peter and his team, and Xander explains how they're working to change the world. Just think an android in every home. Xander whispers to Peter that he's sorry. He doesn't need to rub in their success. Peter tells him it's fine. He's been getting over it. This is his moving on phase. As everyone passes by the playroom for the androids, Peter looks up at the computer screen and notices something strange about the AI's programming code. Those patterns almost look like brain waves. Xander tells him that he has a good eye. They're modeled after human-level thinking. While the processing is affordable, sadly, the chips require hard-to-get materials. Peter tells him that affordable doesn't really normally mix with hard-to-get materials, but okay. Meanwhile, Colin, a science editor, begins prying open one of the androids, stating that maybe they should take a look inside to see what's going on. Xander shouts for him to stop. They all signed waivers. He's ordering him to stop now. And the android's eyes turn red, and he begins to shout, "Execute, stop." Peter's spidey sense begins to go off. He jumps over, grabbing the android. He then struggles with the android to pull it off, and as he fights with it, the android says, Stop me, please, stop." Peter looks at Bobby, and Xander yells at everyone to get out. If they mention any of this, he will sue them all. Later that night, Peter and Bobby sneak back into the Humanitech facility. Peter says, "All right, we gotta be super stealthy about this." Bobby walks in the front door, and after a few button presses of the keypad, the door opens, and she says that they can just go in since she's the one who designed the security. As the two begin to look at the computer, they all stand by Humanitrons beginning to turn on, and those Humanitrons begin to swarm around them. While they begin to fight, Xander runs by asking what is going on. Why are there two Avengers in his building? You're going to ruin everything. One of the Humanitrons begins to speak, stating, "Execute, execute, execute, override, but please." Peter says, okay, but he begins to pry the panel that Colin was seen messing with earlier. As he peels it off, he sees a small object, and he says that this must be the silicone matrix. Phew! He thought it might be an actual brain. But the Humanitron says, okay. The silicone matrix pops out, and the android begins screaming until the silicone matrix shatters on the floor. Bobby says, oh god, it was screaming, and Peter tells her no. They wanted this. He begins to rip the plates off, allowing the silicone matrix to shoot out and fall to the ground. Xander shouts, how could you do this? Everyone is going to win. Then there would be one less supervillain in the world. And Bobby stops asking, what are you talking about? The more of the silicone matrix that hits the ground, they all begin to turn to dust, and then they begin to bond together, forming a person. And a woman shouts, I am free. Peter says, whoa, that's not Sandman. Who is this? And Bobby says that's Quicksand, one of Thor's baddies. And no, this isn't about him. Quicksand pulls her arms back, and Peter runs by shouting, hey, I was the one who freed you. Don't I get some wishes or something? She stops and then says, fine, I owe you that much. I won't kill Xander for now. As a massive sand tornado appears, Quicksand flies out through the roof, and Bobby says, great, now I have to get another job. Peter tells her, don't worry, I got you covered now. I'm working. And speaking of that, I should probably get to work. The next day over at Harry's apartment, he and Liz come home after looking at buildings for Alchemax to purchase, and that's when he notices the boys have band-aids. He asks Emma the nanny what happened, and she tells them that you know how boys are, always roughhousing around the house. Harry looks at Stanley and says boys will be boys, and Emma goes on saying, of course, don't worry. She treats these darlings like her own flesh and blood, and in Emma's hands are 2 small vials of blood. Later over at the Daily Bugle, Peter's team looks over at the article. Joe tells everyone to take a bow to science section. It's not every week that you get the top of even the front page. Joe pulled Peter aside, telling him that today was a great start for them. So what will he have for them next week? Peter says, oh, this is how it is now? Joe says, yep. You're up for the challenge? Peter looks around, holding his arm, stating, it feels like he's home. And there you have it, the fall of Peter Parker, setting up the next storyline for Amazing Spider-Man. It's interesting. I like to see that he's going back to his roots. I don't know about you. I did enjoy the Parker Industries storyline, but I did feel like to an extent Dan Slott was kind of turning him into Iron Man, which is interesting because now Dan Slott's going to go right Iron Man. So I think Marvel had the same thought. Yeah. So anyway, that was going back to the original Spider-Man. It's going to be looking interesting. I'm enjoying that. And if you're wondering why I look the exact same that I've looked in all of the intros and outros for the last week, well, I was at Emerald City Comic-Con. Hopefully I saw you. It was probably a lot of fun. I'm like in the future now. This is future Benny talking to you, but from the past, I'm a time traveler. I'll see you next time right here.
What I might do, guys, is turn this one into electro suit because I kind of like that suit. Or I might turn this one into Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider.
Today we're going to be doing the ending of Amazing Spider-Man.
More actually thinking about it, Scarlet Spider could be one in the corner, which we have. Show you in a second. We have over here. This could be the Scarlet Spider. I am going to do more one Spidey, guys.
This is his final storyline in the series, concluding a lot of his own loose plot threads. So this is technically the end of Spider-Man before a new writer starts a new storyline with him. I hope you guys enjoy.
Or think about it again. It could be.
Welcome to the conclusion of Dan Slott's run of Amazing Spider-Man.
The new Ultimate Spider. Confused. Confer. What do you fancy? What do you fancy, guys? What do you fancy?
James Jordan Jameson knows who Peter Parker truly is. This was discovered in the spectacular Spider-Man run. That leads us up to right now, with a man struggling to speak with a gag in and a shadow walking up to the man telling him, "You speak excellent for a mouth stuffed with gag. Years of experience. I'm going to go with, what is this? Where am I? Oh, let's help the blindfold." As the blindfold comes off the man looks around and sees an old dilapidated room. The man in the shadow states, "This used to be old gentleman." The shadowy man speaks down, and Norman Osborn tells the gag man, "Hello. Oh, the door is open. I really can't understand the words you say. Let's get the gag on." Once the gag comes off, the man screams for help. And Norman says, "Shh, you are inside. There's only one thing that can help you out of this kind of a situation, and that's getting the information from the spider. And from what I understand, you are very close. However, 4 hours prior, Peter and Mary Jane sit in Mary Jane's apartment. As Mary Jane pulls back, she begins to unbutton Peter's shirt, telling him, "You really are a scientist. You can prove it one kiss." her why. You're the one person on Earth that understands all of this more than anyone. Mary Jane tells him that that's what she knows. All it takes is an alarm, or a scream, or a late breaking news, and poof, you're gone. I'm not even going to ask you not to be Spider-Man, but I can't stay up not being able to sleep wondering what if. And as the moment begins to get off, you decide that if you get them, there's no going back. You should probably be going now. Mary Jane asks if you possibly go out the window. Let himself come through, and then she now works with Tony Stark. Right now, it'd be easier to explain why Spidey was dropping by and not her ex-poison. But Peter slides on his mask and swings up the window. There is one man who sees Spider-Man leaving in Mary Jane's apartment, and that man is Norman Osborn. Also, over at Alchemist headquarters, Flash Thompson walks into Liz Allen's office, and he asks, "What's up? Why did you call me? And what is Mark Braxton doing?" Liz tells him that her brother Mark is the head of Alchemist security, and they just wanted to thank him for his help. However, you got to admit, he did screw up a little bit. The Goblin King did get away with some of Alchemist's trident. Maybe not enough to blow up the city, but enough to make a pretty bad PR nightmare. So if you'd be a deer and turn on the ancient anti-venom and track that down, that'd be great. Flash tells her that that is so not cool. She knows his secret identity. He gets that, but she can't keep treating him like some kind of superpowered airport. Liz says that is not at all the case. He's like her white knight. This will be the last time she asks for it. She promises. Flash begins to leave the office and Mark says, "Wow, I know that look. He wasn't just Steve, he was bold." Liz sits back in the chair smiling, stating to just let her have it. She's bossing her old high school boyfriend around. Her ex-husband works for her and is looking after these kids. And here she is running a multi-billion-dollar company. And the dream. Back to the current time, though, with Norman Osborn having a man tied to the chair. She says, "Yes, there are so many people to fix, and one that no one knows about much." Norman stops himself. Almost gave everything away. "I'm so good at this." And then Norman stops and listens. He says, "Some vermin is breaking into my toy box. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back." Down in the lower levels, Goblin King is rummaging through the crates, skating, pumpkin bugs, gliders, razorbacks, all skater issues. Where's the big? The worst Goblin cash out. Norman's voice then tells him, "You know, beggars can't be choosers. But in your case, there can certainly be food." Goblin King looks up and asks, "Norman, I'm not scared of you. I know what Spider-Man did to you. You can't physically turn into the Green Goblin anymore. Norman Osborn is a nobody." Norman asks, "Is that really anybody's name? After I took you under my wing and I made you my Goblin Knight." Goblin King pulled out a fiery sword, shouting, "I am a knight no longer. I took the best title for myself, the Goblin King." Norman catches the sword in his hand, telling him, "You never really did make a name for yourself. You know why? Because your heart wasn't in it." Suddenly, claws shoot out. The loud squelch can be heard.
And why am I coloring over what I've already done, you bugger? Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong one. That'd be why.
What's funny? So why aren't you laughing? A short while later,
Hi.
Sorry about that. It's a little problem, but it's dealt with now. He begins to put back on his old goblin costume, and the man tied up asks, "Do you really think that you can just wear that thing and beat me? No matter what you do, Spider-Man will always beat you. You put him through the worst night of his life. You threw his girlfriend off a bridge and he still came back." After hearing that, Norman stops. "His girl off a bridge? The itch that I can never scratch, of course! Peter Parker is Spider-Man! The greatest weapon that I've ever had over the wall crawler is mine again! And I owe it all to you, J. Jonah Jameson." Jonah looks up from his chair in silence and then he asks, "What am I doing?" A short while later, over at the Daily Bugle, Peter and his science team get to work on their next story. And suddenly, Peter begins to feel something, but what? Figure it out. Seconds later, Norman comes crashing into the building, shouting, "Boo! How about we just cut to the chase where Spider-Man comes out and we can just get this on?" Peter hears Norman and says, "I knew it. That voice is Norman, but he can't change into the Goblin."
I'm going to have to change the tone colour of that one.
And when Norman looks at Ben Urich, he tells him, "Oh, by the way, I found your nephew, Phil. He's gotten really bad, rotten even here. Maybe you can take his mind." Norman throws Ben a bag, and as he begins to open it, Betty tells him to wait, but Ben says no more. The shape is right, but the weight's wrong. There's no way that this is human. And as he opens it up, he sees a statue's head, and that statue's head is made of the explosive material tritium, and its wires are blown in 10 minutes. Everyone in the office begins to panic, and Norman begins to ask, "Why are you all asking like this? I'm the one who's lost my head." Peter begins to shout that is enough, but he jumps in, punching Norman off of his glider. doors off. Any headphones.
That's the problem with this one, guys. I can do it in black, but
Heroes that were asking Phil, what on earth happened?
if it's going to be ultimate color scheme, I'll have to be red on top.
What does it look like? Now here, get me out of this mess. We don't have much time. Certain people are in danger. We have to warn them.
I don't know the true colors of them, actually. I know it's red and black, but I can't think off the top of my head which and where they go. I know it's different, a lot different to the original Spidey suit. Ooh. That's my son coming home, guys. So, like I said, when he was coming home, that I would be bringing this back tomorrow. And so yeah, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed today's stream. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new. And I will see you guys. I'm just going to turn the camera around so you guys can see. Whoop, oh, I thought I was going to delete it then. Cancel that. So yeah, guys, I'll just flip this camera around. Take these glasses off. And say thank you very much for watching today. Hopefully you have enjoyed today's stream. Don't forget to come around tomorrow or tomorrow evening where I will be finishing off this stream, and hopefully you have enjoyed that, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Again, my name is Blute084 Art and Games. I have been listening to Comic Storian, and you guys are more than welcome. That's my dog. You're more than welcome to come over tomorrow. But again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Leave a like if you have liked, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more tone and effects and putting a few more hue coloring to that picture, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next stream or video.